Check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
It's a little better. I don't hear you in the earphones very well at all. Like I hear you next to me.
Oh, we are live? Okay. All right, perfect. All right. Good morning and welcome to Municipal Stadium in Waterbury, Connecticut for Day 2, Game number 4 of the 2024 CACC Baseball Championship, live here on the CACC Network. I'm Doug DeBias, once again joined by my partner in crime here, Mark Mentone. Partner, before we look at today's games, just a quick recap of yesterday. We saw 3 games, 3 different storylines. I think the big thing that came out of it yesterday was the 3 teams that advanced to today did not burn through their pitching yesterday, which sets up well for all 3 going into, I think, today and potentially tomorrow.
And it's strange that you're saying that because you usually don't see this on day 1 of this tournament, and I indicate I've been observing this tournament since about 2001. Day 1 of this tournament, and all 3 winning teams scored at least 9 runs. You usually don't see that right off the bat. But yet you're right. Teams didn't burn a lot of pitching and should have a lot left for today to be even more entertaining than yesterday was.
Looking at this game here coming up between North number 1 Post and North number 2 Felician, I think when you look at the player of the game yesterday for Felician, Ricky Voss reaching base 4 times, scoring 3 runs, really serving as a catalyst, led off 3 innings, and 2 of the times got on base and then came around to score. And then I thought for Post yesterday, I thought Brendan Holligan, you could make the argument, was the MVP for the team because he came on in a situation midway through the game, pitched the rest of the game, which avoided Post having to go through their pitching and keep depth going into today, and bought time for that lineup, the Eagles lineup, to come around, and eventually
they did. 2 home runs by Jalen Kelly, who I see has moved up a spot in the lineup today. And Post has got another quality arm going, and Joe Cristiano.
Yes, looking at that, Jalen Kelly yesterday, 2 home runs, and it was a day where we saw 5 home runs total. Saw Jefferson with 3 last night in their win over Goldie Beacom to advance. You know, we talk about this park here at Municipal, and it always seems to gobble up fly balls, and we have not seen a lot of home runs in any one individual tournament. But yesterday it seemed the park was a little bit smaller. I think that speaks to the power that some of the hitters are in these lineups.
As I said a couple of times when some fly balls did get swallowed up, it looks big. It is big and it plays big. But some guys were able to find the trees behind the fence, including Jalen Kelly twice.
We're going to step aside for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will get you the starting lineups. It's Post and Felician, 2 North rivals going at it here in the first game of Day 2, right here on the CACC Network.
Good afternoon to you. Hello, and welcome inside Municipal Stadium, right here in the middle of Waterbury, Connecticut.
And a 2-run RBI triple gives the Golden Falcons the lead.
Slides into home, and Goldie Beacom mobs Kyle Walker.
Matt Seaman has done it. Presumably the first no-hitter in Post University baseball history.
Welcome back to Municipal Stadium, Waterbury, Connecticut. Just a few moments away from the start of our first game of the day here, Day 2, between Post and Felician. Coaches meeting at home plate concluded. Let's get you the starting lineups first for Felician. Batting leadoff and playing in left field, number 7, Thomas Kendrick. Batting second and playing at third base, number 4, Hayden Walters. Batting third, playing at shortstop, Dory Hanau. Batting in the cleanup spot, the first baseman, number 24, Ricky Voss. Batting fifth, playing in center field, Jack Skirvinick. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, Andrew DeAngelis. Batting seventh and doing the catching, Jose David Medrano. Batting eighth and playing in right field, number 30, Chris Biolsi. Batting ninth and playing at second base, Alex Torres. Doing the pitching on the mound today for Felician is number 19, Logan Waltz, the junior righty from Hazlet, New Jersey. For Post starting lineups, leading off and playing in right field, number 23, Michael Pavlicek. Batting second and playing at short, number 15, Evan Cornwell. Batting third and at first base, number 46, Chris Corchado. Batting fourth and doing the catching, number 4, Jimmy Brennan. Batting fifth and playing in left field, number 3, DJ Karen. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 58, Jalen Kelly. We spoke about him, 2 home runs yesterday in that win over Goldie Beacom. Batting seventh and playing at third base, number 28, Justin Rivera. Batting eighth and playing at second base, number 7, Hunter Keller. And batting ninth and playing in center field, number 2, Danny Gill. Starting on the mound today for Post is number 48, Joe Christiana. Christiana, a graduate student, a righty from Carmel, New York. So once again, the starting lineup today for Felician: Kendrick, Walters, Hanau, Voss, Skirvinick, DeAngelis, Madrano, Bialsi, and Torres. And Logan Waltz will be on the mound for the Golden Falcons. And for Post, once again, Pavlicek, Cornwell, Corchado, Brennan, Karen, Kelly, Rivera, Keller, Gill, and Joe Christiana on the mound for the Eagles. Pretty good coaching matchup that we have here as well, partner. Got 2 men that have been named CACC Coach of the Year in the past, with Chris Langen, several CACC championships. Ray Skold leading Post to several North Division championships, looking to get that breakthrough. Should be a good one. We'll get back to this in a second. Going to step aside for the playing of our national anthem. All right, National Anthem performed. Partner, I want to get back to you with 2 coaches that have coached against each other several times. They know the plan of attack that each other has, for the other team. Pretty good matchup, 2 North teams that know each other well.
Just a matter of who's going to play clean, execute better. Their regular season series was a long time ago. I remember I stopped by that after work, as I work in Waterbury. It was late March, I believe. Post won 2 out of 3. So familiar with each other, but haven't seen each other on the same field in a while.
For Post, let's get you the numbers here for Joe Christiana, the starter today for Ray Skold's unit. Christiana this season, first team all-conference as a starting pitcher. This is his 11th appearance today. All starts, none coming out of the pen. So in his previous 10 appearances this season, a 2.66 ERA, a 6-1 record, 4 complete games in 61 innings pitched, only 59 hits given up, only 20 runs allowed, just 18 earned, 64 strikeouts to just 16 walks. And opponents are batting .255 against him. But some terrific numbers for Christiana, graduate student, and him going against Waltz today should be a really good pitching matchup.
Yeah, Logan Waltz kind of was a utility pitcher this year. Some starts, some relief appearances. As you said, Joe Cristiano, the opposite, 11th appearance, all starts, makes the all-conference team. Going to be a tough assignment for the Felician hitters today, as Tommy Kendrick is the first one to take a shot at it.
So once again, the battery for Post. That includes Joe Cristiano on the mound for the Eagles, Jimmy Brennan behind the plate, and Thomas Kendrick to lead off for Felician here in the top of the first. Sit back and enjoy, everyone. First of two today here on the CACC Network. This is a winner's bracket game. First pitch over for a called strike. First pitch, 11:58 a.m., so we're 2 minutes early.
I'm sure that'll make the commissioner happy. And right on cue, Cristiano with two very different pitches that both catch the plate.
Pitch misses outside, 1-2 the count.
Wanted to see if Kendrick would chase.
Swung on, lifted into shallow left. Karen camps under it for the out, one away. And that will bring up the third baseman, Hayden Walters.
Walters, one of three left-handers in the Felician lineup today against the right-handed Cristiano.
First pitch to Walters, just misses outside.
Kendrick and Walters were both freshmen on the Felician team that captured last year's CACC championship. Have played a lot of games in 2 years and are now well-seasoned sophomores.
I went into left field. Karen under it for the out. 2 up, 2 down. And a pair of fly balls to left here to begin the game.
And Dowdy Hanau was kept mostly quiet yesterday other than, I believe, a bunt hit. But he's been Felician's most consistent hitter. Tough to strike out. Hits the ball hard very often.
First pitch of ball to Hanau. Swung on, lifted. That's just going to be popped up into shallow right, heading over to foul territory. Ah, fantastic job there by the second baseman, Keller, under it for the out. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for Cristiana. Can't ask for a much better start than that for the Post hurler. We head to the bottom of the first. Back with more after this on the CACC Network. Welcome back to Municipal Stadium here in Waterbury, Connecticut. We head to the bottom of the first, scoreless between Felician and Post. 1-2-3 hitters due up for the Eagles here in the bottom of the first. That includes Pavelchak, Cornwell, and Corchado. Partner, quick 3 up, 3 down there for Cristiana in the first inning. Nice start there.
Yep, promising start.
And now the interesting thing will be, and you said it a few times yesterday, you were waiting to see if one of the starters would maybe get into a rhythm, get settled. You know, one inning doesn't mean that's what it's going to be like. But
especially in this tournament, every at-bat is so hotly contested. All 3 games lasting longer than 3 hours yesterday.
So Pavelchak, the right fielder, to lead off.
And we talked about it yesterday, but I know there's a new audience every game. The thing that jumps out at me off the stat sheet on Pavlicek, 39 hits and 36 walks. And if you throw in the 3-hit batsman, he's got just as many free bases as he does base hits this season. It's an on-base machine and just where he belongs in the leadoff spot.
Pavlicek this season batting .356, no home runs, 27 RBI. As you mentioned, 36 walks, .413 slugging percentage. Pavlicek sees that one go by for a called strike. Falls behind 0-1.
Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I did work at Felician for 16 years, from 06 to 22. Logan Waltz gets to first base a little late. Was he in time?
He was. Steps on the bag.
Okay. And I was starting to say,
away.
Logan Waltz, along with Mike Calden and Dylan Morrill, 3 good freshman pitchers, all came in my last year. And Logan Waltz has filled a lot of roles for the Felician pitching staff. He can do this. He can pitch middle relief. He can pitch short relief. He can be a situational pitcher. Looking at the stat sheet really quick, he actually leads the Golden Falcons in appearances.
Waltz this season 5-2 with a 2.75 ERA, 18 appearances, 6 starts. So has come out of the pen a lot as well, but multifaceted. We saw him last year. He earning all conference honors. Could do it as a reliever, could do it as a starter. It's a nice versatile arm that Chris Langen has at his disposal.
Yeah, only 6 starts, but 52 innings. So the relief appearances, a lot of them were long.
Cornwell now at the plate. Cornwell this season batting .329. 1 home run, 25 RBI.
Doug, I want to get this out of the way because I missed it yesterday and she was here yesterday, but I'm pretty sure the current director of athletic communications at Felician, Sam Flecker, is watching the game. And yesterday, she celebrated a birthday. So happy birthday a day late, Sam, and thank you for all you did to get us prepared for this broadcast.
Yes, belated happy birthday.
Yeah.
And you have a birthday coming up here soon.
Yeah, it's not one I really want to talk about. Sam's a bit younger than me. She's still happy when it's her birthday.
2-2 the count to Cornwell. In on the hand, swing and miss. Nice pitch there by Waltz. Challenging Cornwell there, in on the hands, getting him to swing, and that's a tough one to try to catch up to if you're a batter.
Yep.
And that'll bring the first baseman, Chris Corchado, to the plate.
And we thank Mike Vesey and the sports information staff here at Post for the updated statistics we have. And Corchado still leading the Eagles in hitting at .369.
2 home runs, 27 RBI. Started all 42 games that he's played in, coming into today. Bouncer to second. Torres up with it, throws on to first. And a quick 1-2-3 inning for Waltz. Going to step aside for a commercial break. Back with the second after this, right here on the CACC Network. We head to the top of the second. 4, 5, 6 hitters due up for the Golden Falcons. Voss, Skirvinick, and DeAngelis. after a quick 1-2-3 top of the first for Christiana. See if he can do it once again here against a really solid Golden Falcons lineup. And this 4-5-6 combo yesterday, 3 instances in that win over Jefferson where this 4-5-6 led off the inning, including Voss leading off the inning. 2 of those innings, they helped set the table for the Golden Falcons to score 3 runs each time.
Yep.
And Voss was outstanding yesterday, taking the first pitch strike.
Voss was the catalyst. First year Golden Falcon. I believe he's on one of those COVID extensions.
Swung on, just in on the hands there. However, out to just shallow left center was Cornwell. Able to record the out there. That'll bring Skirvinick to the plate.
In the early going, the Golden Falcons not able to get the good part of the bat on the ball against Christiana. Weak contact.
Big swing and a miss there by Skirvinick.
Looked like a little bit of a slider there, that diagonal movement.
Looked like it.
It's not something I'm really good at, is pitch selection. I'm going to try to stay out of the pitching game. Like another one, though.
I can do this for you. I can tell you the difference between a off-speed pitch and a fastball.
Yeah.
That pitch misses outside. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, as we talked about yesterday, that's a good 0-2 pitch. It's a waste pitch without being a wasted pitch.
But you may get him to swing and chase that.
Correct.
That pitch misses outside.
Yep.
There again, just looking like he's trying to test the aggressiveness of the Felician hitters. But I'll tell you what, that they've taken a couple early swings at Christiana in these first couple at bats, which in a way could be good if you can be aggressive and get on base. But at the same time, if you're hitting them right at guys, you're not forcing the pitcher to work much.
Skirvinick, a good power hitter, got back in the count, but just lifted a harmless fly to center. 5 straight outs for Christiana.
And that will bring the designated hitter, Andrew DeAngelis, to the plate, a freshman from Staten Island, New York.
The third and final left-hander in the Felician lineup.
His sister, Caitlin DeAngelis, plays softball here at Post.
I did not know that.
I was told that today.
All right.
And I think I think the Post staff just found out. Mike Vetchy was telling me he saw Caitlin's mom up in the stands yesterday wearing Felician apparel.
Oh, so
wondered what was going on.
He was a little bit confused, huh?
5-3 if you're scoring at home there. Another quick 1-2-3 inning for Christiana. We head to the bottom of the second, still scoreless between the Golden Falcons and Eagles. Back with more after this on the CACC Network. Welcome back to Municipal Stadium. We head to the bottom of the second. While we were off the air, they're sharing some quotes, some scenes from The Office. So, what a great TV show there. Well, now a chance for Logan Waltz to put together.
Joe Cristiano, I was just looking at the rosters, listed at 5'2". Logan Waltz listed at 5'8".
First pitch strike there to Brennan.
Just shows us many different ways to get it done.
Oh, and 1 the count. Bounce to second. Torres clangs off his glove. That was going to be a tough play, especially with the way Brennan was busting it down the line.
Yeah, it's one of those where no matter how they score it, I'm going to agree with them.
And that'll bring the left fielder, DJ Karen, to the plate. Showed bunt. Missed.
And with both pitchers appearing to be on their game in the early going, Post's going to play the small game here, at least on the first pitch of the at-bat, with the leadoff runner on.
Pitch misses.
Yep, doesn't get the call.
Karen this season, 3rd on the team in batting average, .333. 4 home runs, 30 RBI. 2nd on the team in home runs. Post 26-19 on the season. That pitch over for a strike. 1-2 the count. Karen falls behind.
And we'll see if that takes the bunt out of play, you would think. Or this early in the game it would. For those new to baseball, if you bunt foul with 2 strikes, you are out.
Post currently 5th in the latest NCAA Division II East Region rankings.
Good call there. Tough for the Felician bench to see that pitch is outside.
2-2 the count.
Pitch crossed over into the other batter's box.
2-2. Swung on, lifted into left field. However, pretty much in the vicinity there of the left fielder, Kendrick.
And tough break for the Eagles not being able to move that runner with Jalen Kelly coming up.
And that will bring the thumper in this lineup, Jalen Kelly, to the plate, the designated hitter with a pair of homers yesterday. No doubters beyond the wall in left field. In fact, he was cued to hit the first one, a 3-run shot, as my partner here was talking about the grand slam he hit at Bridgeport during the regular season. That one bounced to Torres. Throws on to first to get Kelly. Brennan moves up to second. 2 away.
Now, I talked about it with Jose Medrano yesterday. Now you have Jimmy Brennan on second base. The old stereotype is that because catchers are in that squat so often, and their knees are taxed, that generally they're not good runners. And then right after I said that, of course, we saw Medrano steal a base. With Brennan, he's going to look to get a good jump here with 2 outs and try to score the first run of the game on a single.
Brings Justin Rivera, the third baseman, to the plate. Rivera this season batting .288, 1 home run, 37 RBI. First pitch over for a called strike. Quickly falls behind 0-1 to Waltz. Cooler day here today in Waterbury. Yesterday up in the lower 70s. Had a little bit of a mugginess to it. Today, mid-50s. A little bit cooler, cloud cover in. They are calling for some rain. However, they're expecting that to come more in the form of drizzle about 5 p.m. This afternoon. So that will potentially play some havoc with the second game, but they're not calling for any precipitation during this first game.
And, of course, both of these teams looking to stay far away from that game.
One over for a called strike, 1-2 the count.
And now with 2 strikes, Brennan on second base is going to read a swing, try to get an extra step or 2. If he sees the batter swing, he's either going to be out or he's going to hit the ball.
And winner of this one gets to take the rest of the day off, punches its ticket to the CACC final tomorrow at 11 here at Municipal Stadium. The loser has to stick around, play an elimination game against Jefferson, as they are already 1-0 in elimination games in this tournament. That one in on the hands there, fouled off to the backstop. Count remains 1-2. Jefferson with that 12-8 win last night against Goldie to keep their tournament hopes alive.
Going back to your point about the weather, I live in Hamden, Connecticut, which borders New Haven. It's about 20 miles from here, and the local news report this morning said it's about almost 20 degrees below normal for this time of year.
Chilly weather rolling through the Connecticut, the Naugatuck Valley region here in Connecticut this time of year. We've seen a little bit of everything in the 8 years that this tournament has been here, the last 8 years. We've seen days in the 80s when it was sunny. We found some days that even dipped into the upper 40s. So you get a little bit of everything. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss by Rivera. Waltz strikes him out to end the inning. Only has just that one base runner. Both starters, 2 good innings here for them. We head to the top of the third, still scoreless between Felician and Post. Back with more after this on the CACC Network.
Not the other one.
Welcome back to Municipal Stadium here on the CACC Network. Looking at some of the highlights from yesterday, including that walk-off win for the Eagles over Goldie Beacom. Post making it here. They were down 8-6, and they scored a run in each of the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings to pull off the 9-8 win. Catcher Jose David Medrano leading off for Felician here in the top of the third. First pitch, a strike from Christiana to Medrano. That one grounded over towards the left side. Cornwell throws over, skips over Corchado, and Medrano safe at first. And they are calling an error there on Cornwell.
Yep, Medrano forcing the action, though. Important to note that the scoreboard is not in tune with the official scoring. Both the Brennan play and the Medrano play just now have officially been scored singles.
They've been scored singles? All right,
yep,
so
according to our live stats,
right,
which is in tune to what we have here in the booth. And the bunt there.
So a 3-4 sacrifice bunt for Bielsi.
And Bielsi got a good bunt down first base line and was within a hair of beating it out.
So that'll bring the second baseman Torres to the plate.
So both coaches sensing that runs will be at a premium in this game.
Torres this season batting just 196. No home runs, 3 RBI, but known for his glove, and he flashed it yesterday several times.
Oh!
And that one caught.
It looked like Brennan was crossed up and the ball caught the umpire in the mask.
And the umpire heading to the backstop here. And
Brennan doesn't look happy. Obviously, the home plate umpire is not very happy. His partner's coming in to check on him. Looked like a cross-up because Brennan had the glove down by his belt and the ball sailed near his head.
I was writing something down. I didn't get to see it. Was it just more of maybe he lost control of a pitch?
No, it looked like Brennan didn't know what was coming. He was expecting something different than what came.
Okay. Well, he's shaking his head there behind.
So he wasn't.
He's not happy about something.
So he wasn't able to protect the umpire, and the umpire got hit right in the mask with the pitch.
And
Just looked like your classic cross-up.
And the post-athletic trainer out there to see. Yeah, the umpire quickly removed his mask and walked back to the backstop there. Hopefully he's all right. Was it a fastball that came up?
I think so.
So you're really taking a heater then right off the,
yes.
the mask. That is dangerous. It's like they're checking the. Good job, Jack.
Now, as far as the game's concerned, the key part of that play is that Medrano moves up to third on what's properly scored a wild pitch.
And with only one out. So there again, you don't necessarily need a base hit here to bring home Medrano.
I'm sorry, Doug. With a good bat handler like Alex Torres in the plate and Steve Langen at third base coaching box, the bunt not out of play here.
Pitch there, a strike to Torres. Count even at 1-1.
Now, Torres bats ninth in the lineup, and, this is not Ray Gold's first game, but here it comes.
And the bunt laid down. Here comes Medrano. Throw home.
Not handled by Brennan. Might have been safe anyway.
So a run across for the Golden Falcons. They take an early 1-0 lead.
A lot of tests early for our official scoring staff in just 3 innings.
How would you score that?
I couldn't see where Torres was when the ball was fielded. You could either go fielder's choice, you could go base hit.
So we head back to the top of the order, and Kendrick throw over to first.
Depending on whether the scorer thought they had a chance to throw Torres out at first.
And now we've got a...
Are they saying he went to his mouth?
So the home plate umpire there talking with Jimmy Brennan. Not sure what the... And Torres breaks for second, however, fouled off there by Kendrick.
And I will say I do like what the official scorer came up with there. Fielder's choice, RBI, no error. So no hit for Torres, but an RBI. And I think that's proper.
No error, okay. I can slide down here a little bit more for you, partner. Might as well get close, right? We've known each other for, 15 years now, so.
And we've also spent way too much time scoring games like this in our career. And listening to the slings and arrows of coaches, players, parents. No matter what you pick, you're never right.
And we should warn the fans, too, that at some point we may get after each other, and then 2 minutes later we'll be back like best of friends.
Be like it never happened, yeah.
So at some point you may get some entertainment on TV today.
You may get a reenactment of a CACC SID meeting.
1-1 the count to Kendrick. Runner at first. 1 run across already here for the Golden Falcons in the third.
But again, a key point from that last play, Medrano was not breaking with the pitch, so read the bunt from Torres, got a good break once he saw the ball down and was able to score. Excellent effort by Christiana, making that play that close.
Pitch misses outside, 3-1 the count. So yesterday, just like the 4, 5, 6 batters helped set the tone and a couple of those innings where they let off, now you've got the 7, 8, 9. You got the bottom part of your order making some things happen here, and then you head back to the top of the order, 1 out, a runner on. I mean, it's only 1 run, but Felician here with an early opportunity, they could maybe put a couple runs across here and put some pressure on the Eagles.
And Logan Waltz with 2 clean innings, showing signs that he's on his game.
Torres takes off. No up. Ball 4 there to Kendrick, so he draws a 1-out walk. That puts a pair on with only one out for Hayden Walters. Walters flew out to left back in the first inning. So Torres at second. Kendrick at first. Lifted foul over the third base bullpen.
Walters played in all but one game for Felician. Has played in all but one game for Felician this season. Played some second base, played some third base.
Sophomore from Coral Springs, Florida. Bunt laid down. Christiana stumbles coming off the mound. The bases are going to be loaded.
He saw a spot he could take advantage of, and he was able to put the ball there. And again, this is not the way Chris Langan played the game when he first became a college head coach. He had a lot of thumpers. He preferred to play for the big inning, but he's adapted to his personnel. He's recruited more athletic personnel that understand the game.
Wow, and you saw it last year, and you've seen it this year so far in this tournament. They have the situation in a game has never gotten too big. That one lined off Christiana's glove.
All the runners forced.
All the runners are forced. The run's going to score out at second.
Great job by Christiana to get one out on that play. Yes, he gives up another run against the dangerous Dowdy Hanau, but he gets an out on the play.
Yes, because that easily could have gone back through the middle if he doesn't get a glove on that one.
Yeah,
that was coming off the bat of Hanau.
Then you're talking a pair of runs score, and there's not an extra out in the inning. Now let's see how Felician chooses to play with the first and third situation, but with yesterday's hero, Voss at the plate.
Dangerous Voss at the plate. First pitch, catches the inner half of the plate there for a called strike. 0-1. As mentioned right before that play, as you were saying about, this situational type ball, there's not a situation that seems to be too big for Felician. Last year and this year as well. That one grounded to Christiana. He's going to take that himself.
And why not? He headed that way anyway, but that's why the bunt was effective to the opposite side of the field because he falls off that way.
The Golden Falcons score a pair. They lead it 2-0. We head to the bottom of the third. Back with more after this on the CACC Network.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions.
We head back to the bottom of the third here at Municipal Stadium. 2-0 Felician over Post. 8-9-1 hitters due up for the Eagles. And second baseman Keller, his first plate appearance today. So Logan Waltz with a couple runs here early. See what he can do with it.
And throwing first pitch strikes. Making things harder on the hitters.
Keller this year, 224. No home runs, 11 RBI. One and one the count. Swung on. Lifted into left center, and it's going to drop in. Double for Keller.
And good start for the Eagles in the home half as they look to break the ice.
For a second, the way the center fielder and left fielder were going, I mean, they were running, but it didn't look like at full speed that one of them was going to get it.
No,
and then all of a sudden, just ball found a little open spot there to drop in.
Carried well, was perfectly placed.
And as we said, it's tough because there's a lot of ground out there, and this park can swallow up fly balls like that too. And that will bring Gill, the center fielder, to the plate. Gill, who delivered the hit yesterday.
Felician checking on who's the previous batter? I'm sorry.
On Keller.
To see if he missed first base. Appeal denied.
Gill with that winning hit yesterday that delivered the winning run against Goldie Beacom. Swing and a miss there. And we saw Gill yesterday have to run down a couple fly balls in the outfield. Showed some good work out there. In that
Yeah, the outfield play's been good.
field.
Been good this tournament.
Gill batting .198, 1 home run, 9 RBIs, 20 runs scored. Gill, a senior from Eastvale, California. 0-2 the count.
Not handled by Majano, so officially I believe called a foul ball. Didn't really matter as there wasn't anywhere for Keller to go.
You look at Felician's roster. It's mainly New York, New Jersey. You do have a Florida sprinkled in. You got a Mass. You look at Post's roster, and you've got Connecticut, California, New Jersey, Vermont, Massachusetts, Nevada, the Dominican Republic, Texas. Did I say Mass yet?
Yep.
I did say Mass, okay. New York, New Jersey. So they're a wide-ranging roster for Ray Schoold's bunch.
Yeah, both schools doing what makes sense for them in terms of their framework, recruiting.
Count even at 2-2.
Pitch probably broke down. Felician bench looking for that pitch, but by the time it got to the plate, did let go slightly below the knees.
Coral Springs, and maybe you would know this one. Hayden Walters, that's where he's from. And
Yep.
Stephen Langan, Chris's brother and third base coach, who is assistant, works down there. Did he have a hand?
It's not so much that as they've known the family for a while. Hayden's father, Simon Walters, was one of Felician's assistant coaches back about 10 years ago when Hayden was obviously much younger.
Okay, all right.
So he's known the family for a while, so that may have given them an inside edge.
Okay. 3-2 the count.
But they both have contacts from back when they were minor league baseball players. Felician's had a lot of good players from Florida over the years.
And Gill draws the walk. That puts runners at first and second, nobody away here in the third inning. And Post now with an opportunity to potentially answer Felician's rally back in the top half of this inning. Now we'll bring Pavlicek to the plate, back to the top of the order, the right fielder. Pavlicek grounded out to first base back in the first inning.
Yeah, on the one hand, it sets up a double play, sets up forces, but it's early in the game. You're trying to limit base runners.
So Walt's now in a jam. See if he can dance out of it. Pavlicek gets a bunt down but foul. Now, Pavlicek has speed. There is no doubt about that. He can get one down in play. This could make for a very interesting situation because you know he can get down the line fast.
But he looked like he was in sacrifice mode there. He's ready to give himself up, make the trade, 1 out for 2 bases. See how they go. Yeah, he's in sacrifice mode. And there's no vicious intent there. That's how pitchers are taught. If you see a guy square early, get the ball up and in. It makes it difficult to bunt. Now, from the Felician bench, you're going to hear, let him do his job. In other words, we'll take the out, and we'll go back to work.
Bunt shown, bunt down.
And the trade is made.
Great job there by Pavlicek.
Yep. Another thing you'd expect a leadoff type hitter to be able to do. And he sets up his teammates for an attempt to tie the game.
And that will bring Cornwell to the plate. Cornwell struck out swinging back in the first inning. He's got a pair of runners in scoring position. Only one out here in the bottom of the third. 2-0 Felician. Golden Falcons with both of their runs in the top half of this frame. First pitch, a strike to Cornwell. Cornwell, a slick fielder, and swings a pretty dangerous bat here as well. Among the team leaders, conference leaders in batting average. Batting .329, well, coming into today, batting .329, 25 RBI, 32 runs scored.
Felician with the infield back would rather not, but if they have to, they will trade an out for a run here.
0-2 the count to Cornwell.
Waltz, of course, looking for strikeout pop-up.
Swung on.
Might have the second one. We'll see how this plays out.
Into left field. Nice catch there by Kendrick. Runner tags. Throw home, not in time. A run scores. Run gets away from Medrano. So an RBI for Cornwell.
And the tough part for Kendrick is he wasn't able to stay on his feet as he made the catch. So even though it was a shallow ball, runner able to tag up and score.
And the runner able to tag up from second and go to third as well on the throw home.
Yeah.
So that
ball got by a little bit. It's not as consequential, but as we've seen with some of the bunt hits and some of the balls getting by the catcher, a lot more ways to score from third than from second.
Oh, and how many runs were scored yesterday with 2 outs?
Yeah.
Including between Post and Goldie yesterday.
All but one,
16
right?
16 of the 17 runs, all but the final run, were scored with 2 outs. That pitch just misses the outer half of the plate. 1-0 to Corchado. So 2 away here in the bottom of the third. Runner at third. 1 run across. It's now 2-1. So no matter what happens here, we're now going to see an opportunity in the 4th inning for both of these starters to see if they can bounce back from a rough inning here in the third. That pitch catches the outer half of the plate.
Yeah, Walt's moving the ball in and out. Tried to get inside on Corchado. Got it a little too far in to fall behind 2-0. Gets the call there on the outer edge.
2-1 the count. Corchado, the first baseman for the Eagles at the dish. Bounces that one. And
this will be interesting.
Interesting play. Oh, nice play there, though, by Voss. Able to flip it over to Waltz.
And by
time.
Waltz, yep.
Yes. That is not an easy play to make, especially when you got a big guy like Corchado busting it down the line. But they're able to turn it, and they limit the damage to just a run. We've played 3. It is 2-1 Felician. Back with the 4th after this on the CACC Network. We head to the top of the 4th. 5, 6, 7 hitters due up for Felician. Skirvinick, DeAngelis, and Medrano.
Some good banter going on in the press box, reminding me why I don't do this anymore.
Well, we were just rehashing
Yeah.
long-time Assumption SID Steve Merck Morris. We were talking about some of these hits and strikes, hits and errors today. This one skied, brings some rain with it, but Keller able to fall under it for the out.
Before that, we had talked about how we've both scored plenty of baseball and softball games in our day. No matter what decision you make, you're always wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And that wasn't any fun.
You're always wrong, and somebody's going to hate you.
Yep.
I was told a long time ago by an announcer, and DeAngelis here at the plate shows bunt. He said, your audience, a third's going to love you, a third's going to hate you, and the other third could give a expletive less about you. That one grounded. Oh, nice cutoff there by Keller. Safe, DeAngelis. Oh, they're gonna call him safe, but wow, what a fantastic play though by Keller to range to his left, cut that off that it looked like it was going through the right side, and throw on to first.
And a good job by Corchado of getting back to first base. Now, we talked about yesterday the new rule put in, I believe it was last year, that coaches are not allowed to go on the field to question plays anymore. That baseline's as far as they can go. If you're an old school fan of baseball, it looks a little bit different.
I think they're checking the replay there. Safe? Okay. Well, our producers here, our directors, took a look at the replay. I think they were showing it there. Safe. They said it was correct. So great. So great call there by the umpire on a bang play. And still, you got to give credit to Keller though, and as you said, to Corchado because he
getting back. Yeah,
having to get back to the bag. Unfortunately, someone's going to be happy with the call and someone's not. But you can give credit to both sides there.
And the umpire doesn't get a replay. At least not yet in Division II.
That pitch high and inside. 1-0 the count to Medrano.
Who's quietly having a very nice tournament.
Who singled and came around to score back in the third inning. Scored the first run of the game for the Golden Falcons. Biggest swing and a miss there. Count even at 1-1. So a 1-1 pitch on the way. That one's going to get into right field for a base hit. DeAngelis rounds second. He's going to go to third. He's going to put runners at the corners with only one out here in the fourth.
I believe all Medrano's hits in the tournament are singles, but he's quietly putting together a nice tournament at the plate.
Nice read off the bat there as well from DeAngelis, and got a good jump as well. Gave him the opportunity there to round second, head to third. And that brings Chris Biolsi to the plate.
A lot of options here for Felician. Saw them bunt with a runner on just third the last time. Now you've got first and third.
Biolsi with a sac bunt back in the third inning that helped move Medrano up into scoring position. Big swing and a miss there by Biolsi, the right fielder. Called his name a few times yesterday at the plate and in the field.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've called every player at some
point
here. They've
well, that is our job, right?
Well, but in terms of the highlight, though, throw home. And called him safe. No, they've called him.
I think he was saying that there was no. He should have made the out call first. I think he was saying that he was out, but there's no collision.
All right, so 2 outs.
Mechanically, the umpire probably should have called out first, but I think the safe sign meant no collision. He's not out of the game.
So a nice play at the plate there to get the lead runner. So 2 outs now. Score remains 2-1.
And we talked about the good break the runner got last inning. That time, DeAngelis did not get a good break. He was hesitant, then took off, and decided the jump was his only chance.
Pitch over for called strike to Torres. Torres reached on a fielder's choice, got credit for the RBI back in the 3rd inning, and then eventually came around to score. But as mentioned earlier, right before that ground out, it seems like every player in this tournament so far that we've covered has had some sort of a highlight play. That one skied to left.
Nice job by Cristiano pitching out.
Karen under it for the out. Damage held to nothing. It remains 2-1. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Back with more after this on the CACC Network. Welcome back to Municipal Stadium here in Waterbury, Connecticut. And partner, we just heard over the PA system, they said it's chilly outside. We have some hot chocolate at the concession stand.
Not
Really?
surprised, yeah.
May 10th?
Yeah, and here we are.
May 10th? I can understand having coffee. I had my coffee this morning, but hot chocolate? Wow. 4, 5, 6 hitters due up for post here in the bottom of the 4th. Brennan, Karen, and Kelly. First pitch grounded to short. And now has to throw over. Safe. Slid to get to the bag in time.
Yep. Hey, now, start of the season at third base, moved over to short after Felician reshuffled the deck due to an injury. Didn't feel that one cleanly, unable to recover in time.
And a nice job there by Brennan to get to the bag in time. And that'll bring Karen, the left fielder, to the plate. Flew out to left, back in the 2nd. We'll see what they call there. Calling that an E6.
Yep.
Is that an E6? All right.
Yep.
Always like to make sure, just to.
Of course. K now had it squared up, just couldn't field it cleanly. Brennan with no stolen bases on the year.
Brennan with a nice tag there back in the top half of
Yes.
the 4th inning to prevent another run from scoring. Second team all CACC catcher. That pitch in there for a strike. 1-2 the count now to Karen.
Who I believe was showing bunt in this situation last time up, and no sign of it here.
Karen yesterday was, if I'm correct on that one, that he threw from his knees to get the runner out at home.
That was him?
Goldie, that was Karen. Yep, that was in foul territory, just beyond the left field line, and it was a convergence of him, Cornwell, the shortstop, and then Rivera, the third baseman, all came in, and Karen caught it, and from his knees, gunned the runner out at home.
Kept the game tied, if I remember correctly, which is 50-50 lately.
Well, it was definitely in the latter half. It was somewhere in that 8-6 range, 8-7.
And as I said at the time, I had no problem with Goldie Beacom making the attempt.
Yes.
'Cause I think it might have been a tie game.
Because if you try that play 10 times,
Yeah.
there's probably a good chance you're scoring at least 6 or 7 of them.
You're near the bottom of the order.
Yeah. Now, we said that at the time. We did not disagree with sending the runner. That's just good decision, just a better defensive play made there.
Mm-hmm.
Count runs full to Karen, 3-2. Runner at first, that is Brennan, as he reached on the error by Hanau. Bounced foul over towards the third base dugout, manned by the Eagles. So as we mentioned earlier, the winner of this game gets to take the rest of the day off and get set for the championship final tomorrow at 11 a.m. here at Municipal. Loser has to stick around and play the Rams of Jefferson. Brennan takes off for second. That one grounded through the left side, base hit. Brennan has to put the brakes on as he took a wide turnaround second there, but runners at first and second, nobody out. Here in the fourth, Post has something cooking.
Not sure what would have happened if the runner wasn't in motion, but the ball hit right near the hole that Hanau had vacated.
Well, if you're a Felician fan, this is not the guy you want at the plate right now with 2 runners on. Jalen Kelly, the all-conference designated hitter, 2 home runs yesterday, had a 3-run shot it came at a time when they were down 4-0, Post was, to Goldie Beacom, and you kept saying that was the one that set the tone for the rest of the game. And as you can see, Chris Langen coming out there, definitely going over strategy, what he wants to do here and attacking.
When he hit the first one, they were still down 4-3, but I believe it made them believe after they had just given up 4 runs without a hit in the top half of that inning. Now, as I talked about yesterday, my familiarity with the Felician program tells me that when Chris Langen makes his own mound visit, it's not about mechanics. It's not about anything to do with the pitching itself. It's either about strategy or it's a breather. And that was Chris Langen himself.
Yeah, definitely want to make sure that everybody's on the same page here with this dangerous hitter at the plate.
I said it yesterday, in a late game situation, we're still early in the game with nobody out and 2 runners on. It's even less likely now. I don't think Jalen Kelly's bunting.
So first pitch, Walt steps off. Well, you said last night in that elimination game when they brought Polari, the closer, in, at the time in the 5th inning, that was the safe situation right there. And this, we still got a lot of baseball left to play, but this could be the situation as well, especially with the way Christiana's pitching.
You just never know. Christiana just worked out of a jam. Walt's trying to do the same. Again, another first pitch strike. I don't have the numbers in front of me. It seems like he's throwing anecdotally a high percentage of first pitch strikes.
But let's just say Kelly runs into one here. Maybe 4 runs is all Christiana needs. So this is definitely a big moment here.
I talked about that with A.J. McNamara yesterday, associate A.D. at Post, former baseball coach. That today may not be as high scoring as yesterday was.
Nice job there by Medrano to block it. I'll say this. I'd be interested to go back and look that high scoring is typically day 1. The second day sometimes is not as much, and then the championship day is high scoring because by that point it's all arms on deck that you could get. The pitch misses outside.
Yeah, but ever since the play down round got moved back, the play down round was originally on the Tuesday. So ever since it got moved back to the weekend before, I found that the first round games are usually pretty low scoring because even the teams that are the lower seeds and had to win their way through get to come back with their number 1 pitchers. Perfect example, Felicia yesterday. Mike Calden pitched game 1 against Caldwell. He was able to pitch game 1 yesterday because of the rest in between.
Two and two the count.
There are some coaches in the league that feel that is a less of an advantage for the division winners, but you have to factor academics into the equation as well.
That one fouled off over the grandstand. Well, you're not going to make everybody happy.
Well, that goes along with the conversation I had earlier about official scoring. And I had that conversation with Andrew Torriello, who's in the booth right now, got here a couple innings ago, the athletic director at Felician, who I worked for 9 months before I left. And when he took over the top spot, that's a conversation we had, is that you just can't make everybody happy and you can't try to.
Three and two the count to Kelly. Nobody out. Runners at first and second. 3-2 pitch. Misses low and away. Bases are now loaded, still with nobody out. And that brings the third baseman Rivera to the plate. Rivera struck out swinging back in the second inning.
Felician infield stays back. They'd love to trade 2 outs for a run here.
And if you're a Felician fan right now, you are taking that in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
You'll give up the tying run if you can get 2.
If you're Waltz, you're going to get greedy. You're looking for a strikeout pop-up.
That one line to short. Oh, this bounced off Hanau. Oh, he stumbled as he threw. Off the bag, run scores. Everybody's safe. Oh, my. I think you're going to have to go E6 because even before the throw, he bobbled that one and then just caught his toe, it looked like, as he was throwing, caught it in the dirt and just sailed high. Nice job, though, by Voss to go up and get it, because if he doesn't, it's at least 3-2 then. So I
don't think there's any question about what you're saying. I'm just watching Hanau's body language. It's a second error of the inning. Could have had 2 outs in the inning in a tie game. Now there's nobody out.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. I
don't think there's any question about what you're saying.
And nice job by Voss there to go up and get it. Because if he doesn't, if that gets away, it's at least 3-2. Depending on what sort of bounce you get, come off, may carry him off somewhere. It could be 4-2.
And just a tangent about scoring again. There's a lot of people that think that you can't give an RBI on an error. That's the situation where you can, because the run would have scored anyway because the infield was back. So even though an error is scored on the play, he correctly given an RBI.
Swing and a miss there by Keller. Ball's behind 0-2 to Waltz.
And again, Waltz is going to be greedy here, look for strikeout pop-up.
Pitch misses, count 1-2.
They actually just took the RBI away, which I disagree with.
Pitch misses low and away. Count even now at 2-2. So once again, bases loaded, nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. 1 run already across. We're tied 2-2. That one dropped into right field. Base hit. This is going to score 1. Gets away from Bielsi. This is going to score 2. 4-2. Runners at second and third. Still nobody out.
And just a nightmare inning for Felician on defense. Waltz, unfortunately, showing bad body language right now, not handling it well. And still nobody out.
Keller with a 2-run double. And he is now 2 for 2 today with a pair of doubles. (4-2). And as my partner said, the defensive wheels have come off a bit here this inning. And it has allowed Post to take a 4-2 lead. And that brings the center fielder, Danny Gill, to the plate. Gill walked back in the third and eventually got to third base before he was left stranded there. First pitch, a ball to Gill. Still not any closer to getting out of this jam, and you've got runners in scoring position at second and third. Pitch outside there, 2-0.
Post with a chance to really do some damage here. Pick up an even bigger lead, make it that much more difficult for Felician. Obviously still with 5 chances left to hit, but...
A pitch over for a called strike, 2-1 the count.
And from the Felician side, it's incumbent upon Logan Waltz to calm the ship. Coach Langen's already used his visit to the mound this inning. It's up to Medrano and Waltz to kind of calm it down themselves.
Swing and a miss there by Gill. Count even now at 2-2. Felician just needs to get that first out, maybe get its feet back under it here. Count even 2-2. Swing and a miss there by Gill. Big strikeout there for Waltz. One away. And we head back to the top of the order, and the right fielder, Michael Pavlicek, due up. Pavlicek grounded out to first, back in the first inning, and then laid down a sacrifice bunt back in the third, which helped lead to a run. Didn't get the RBI there. That came later with Cornwell and his sacrifice fly, but the sac bunt was able to get the runner into scoring position. First pitch, a ball to Pavlicek.
Missed opportunity for Gill. His teammate will try to pick him up right here.
That was a big strikeout for Waltz.
Still needs to back it up.
That pitch misses low. Count now 2-0.
We talked about how often Pavlicek gets on base. Except for the extra pitches Waltz would throw, a walk wouldn't be the worst thing here for Felician.
That pitch catches the inner half of the plate. 2-1 the count. Pavlicek not happy with it, but I think that looked like a good pitch. Maybe skirted the letters there.
Sure.
But if you're not battling for yourself at the plate, who is then, right?
That's it.
Swing and a miss there by Pavlicek. Count even at 2-2. This is dangerous here because if he can put the ball in play somehow, even if it's a ground ball, with his speed, and could cause some havoc there defensively.
Puts pressure on a defense, absolutely.
On the defense and could get that run in from third. So he does not need a base hit here at all. Count remains 2-2. A lot of energy right now coming from the post bench. That one forces Pavlicek to duck back. Count runs full, 3-2.
We talked at the top of the show, whoever played clean, made the least mistakes, would probably come out on top. Right now, that's Post.
That pitch misses inside, gets away from Medrano, however. Runner is not able to advance, but it does load the bases once again with only one out.
Looked like Rivera didn't get a good look at it right away. That didn't get that far away from Medrano, and he pounced on it right away. Rivera stays at third.
That brings Cornwell to the plate. Cornwell with an RBI back in the third inning when he got the sacrifice fly to left.
Now, again, because of the length of game rules that have been put in, Medrano can't do this as often as he would like to anymore. These are now counted, these defensive conferences, but it doesn't matter because Coach Langen's coming to the mound again, and he's taking Logan Waltz out of the game.
And coming in now, we'll get a number there for you. 58, partner? 58, yes. That is Gavin Enright, the freshman righty from Oakland, New Jersey. Well, here's one of those instances, and you said it last night. Here's a potential save situation here early in the game, because if somehow Enright can escape this jam without any further damage, or let's just say maybe only gives up one more run, it keeps Felician within shouting distance, and it doesn't become, a 8-2 or 9-2 type game. So a big moment here for the young freshman.
And these games are managed for a lot of reasons different than regular season games. Regular season, especially during conference season, you often have 4-game weekends, 6-game weeks. And you're not going to do this. You're not going to bring a pitcher of this caliber in this early in a game. A little different now.
And let's get the end line here for Logan Waltz. And right when I was ready to do that, the internet cut out from my computer. Partner, how scary is it that our lives revolve so much around the internet and needing it for
And it's not anything. And we were both in school, but before this stuff was there, it's not something I ever would have predicted. Yeah, I went to grade school, and when I had to write reports, I would go to the library and read an encyclopedia, a physical one, and I didn't have a cell phone until I was 26 years old. And it wasn't a smartphone.
What's an encyclopedia? You're too old. Is that one of those Britannicas that I've heard about?
You're not that much younger than me.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
But it's a different world now, and some things are better, some things maybe not be. Definitely makes the sports information profession a bit harder, and a lot of aspects of college athletics. More exciting.
One of my daughter's friends, she's not a big fan of English class. So a couple weeks ago when they were at the house, she was asking me, her friend was asking me, she goes, "What? Did you guys have Grammarly in school and stuff?" And I said, "Yes." And they're like, "You did?" And I said, "Yeah, it was called grammar school." We had books that we would pitch in there for a strike to Cornwell.
Gavin Enright with a tough assignment ahead of him.
So Logan Waltz's final line, 3 1/3 innings pitched, 4 runs on 4 hits, only 2 runs earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, through 68 total pitches. That pitch gets away from Medrano. This is going to will not score a run. Oh, fantastic play by Medrano.
I did think the correct call was made. I also thought Rivera got a great jump.
I thought he did too.
Just a better job by Medrano and Enright.
That's why I was ready to call it a run right there. But great job by Medrano to turn around, and a great job by Enright getting there to home plate to apply the tag.
We have a good view of it. I thought that time Rivera recognized what was going on right away, got a good break. Again, just a better job by Medrano and Enright. Changes the tenor of the inning.
So we now have
plate umpire rung up that swing on his own.
We have Keller at third and Pavlicek at second. Rivera out and home. I agree. I thought it was a great jump. But just a great job by Medrano, and I'm sure we can't see below us here in the press box necessarily, but it maybe got fortunate, got a nice little bounce off the backstop.
Possibly, yep.
But a great job by Enright there, too, to get there and apply the tag. Swing and a miss. Strikes out Cornwell. And as we talked about, he gets out of the jam. No runs given up by Enright. So a big moment there. Mark that one down. See if that's a little momentum build there for the Falcons. But Post scores 3 times. They lead at 4-2. We head to the 5th. Back with more after this on the CACC Network. We head to the top of the fifth. 4-2. Post leads it over Felician. Partner, I marked down back in the top of the fourth when DeAngelis was thrown out at home. Mark that as, let's see if that's a turning point. And that allowed Post to escape the jam in that inning without giving up any runs. They turn around and use it for momentum. They score 3 times in the bottom of the fourth. But then I just marked this last sequence here, the last 2 batters for Felician, and Gavin Enright coming in relief of Logan Waltz, the starter, applies the tag at home to avoid another run scoring, and then gets the big strikeout there of Cornwell.
Yeah,
so see if that gives some momentum to Felician.
The potential wild pitch was a big play. Obviously, now Felician got out of the inning on 1 pitch, out having to turn a double play. And then Gavin Enright comes back with the strikeout.
Top of the lineup due up here for the Golden Falcons, 1-2-3 here in the 5th inning. Kendrick to lead off.
And while they have to put it past him, it doesn't change the fact that was a nightmare defensive inning for Felician.
Kendrick, 0 for 1 today, flew out to left back in the first, walked in the third, and advanced to third base. However, could not cross home plate. That pitch in there for a strike, count even at 1-1 to Kendrick.
See how Christiana reacts to this 2-run lead.
Yeah, see what he can do with it now. Being spotted a 2-run advantage. That pitch over for a strike.
Yep.
Gets ahead 1-2 to Kendrick. Count even at 2-2. Well, you never know in the transfer portal era, ultimately, because of the comings and goings, but you mentioned it earlier about Kendrick and Walters at the top of the lineup for Chris Lang, and both sophomores, both freshmen on that championship-winning team last year. If they stay, yeah, that's a really nice 1-2 punch.
Nice foundation at the top of the order. Yep.
Yep. That he can rely on here these next 2 years. And Kendrick draws a leadoff walk.
And there's been a lot of talk in the last decade or so in Northeast Region Division II baseball, wood bat, metal bat, what's the best way to go? It really doesn't matter if the pitchers don't throw strikes.
And that brings Walters to the plate. Gets the bunt down.
Felician sticking to their game plan, willing to chip away, cut the lead in half this inning, and depend on their pitching staff to hold it where it is.
A nice job there by Walters, getting Kendrick up to second and into scoring position.
Now he has to try to block out these thoughts. But a big redemption at bat for Haynau right now. After the 2 errors last inning, you know he'd like to do some damage with this at bat. But he has to stay within what he's capable of doing and not think about it that way.
Dowdy Haynau,
the mental side of baseball,
popped up in foul territory to the second baseman back in the first inning, reached on a fielder's choice in the third. Yeah, tough, rough last half inning for Haynau. Charged with a pair of errors. That pitch misses inside. Low, count 1-1.
Quiet tournament so far for Felician's leading hitter.
It has been. Fortunately, though, some of the other hitters have really stepped up. Provided a nice offensive spark there for the Golden Falcons. That one chopped to third. Throw over in time. Kendrick has to remain at second, 2 away. And that'll bring right now, probably the biggest bat in the lineup so far in this tournament, early tournament, Ricky Voss for Felician. 0 for 2 today, though. Popped out to short and then grounded out back to the pitcher back in the third inning. But 3 for 4 yesterday with 3 runs scored, 2 RBI. Reached base 4 times in his 5 plate appearances.
Batting left against the right-handed Christiana. That pitch bore in on him for a strike.
And showed some speed on the base paths yesterday. Had a stolen base. And it wasn't one without a lack of a throw down. They threw down to second, but he beat it out. Fouls that one off over the...
Can't always tell by the body type, huh?
Can't. But his performance yesterday speaks to what you've said about how Chris Langen wants to play in kind of this new era.
Yeah.
Voss quickly falls behind 0-2 to Christiana.
Well, he's adjusting to his personnel. He's made an effort to get more athletic. And that doesn't necessarily always equate to power hitters.
Well, and it's not easy to recruit the Lemuras and the Brennan Prices or the Matt Diesels of the world. You know, you don't just stumble into them by accident.
No, you got to get lucky to have a lot of them on one team.
Bounce to first. Nice job by Corchado. Can he flip in time? He will. Oh, terrific defensive play there by the first baseman.
The Eagles just executing better than the Golden Falcons right now.
So the leadoff walk, stranded at second there, no harm done. And we head to the bottom of the fifth. 4-2, Post leads it. Back with more after this on the CACC Network.
He was ready, and he was the guy.
Welcome back to Municipal Stadium here in Waterbury, Connecticut. 4-2, Post leads it. We head to the bottom of the fifth. The heart of the order due up for the Eagles, the 3-4-5 hitters, including the first baseman, Chris Corchado. Corchado grounded out to second back in the first inning and then grounded out to first in the third. First pitch, a ball to Corchado. Gavin Enright still on for the Golden Falcons, came in and worked his way out of a pretty tough jam there in the bottom of the fourth without any runs being given up. This one in on the hands, fisted over into left field, foul territory. Oh, Kendrick
What an effort.
nearly came down with it. He can really get on his horse out there and track down balls.
Came a lot closer to that ball than probably we expected.
That's always a tough one there. Like, you can't fault the player for not making the play, but you're also kind of wincing a little bit. Like, we could have just stolen out there.
Yeah.
You know, that.
Against a very good hitter.
Yes.
That gets another chance here.
1-1 the count. That pitch inside, brushes.
And I would say there's a fair amount of foul territory here. You know, not so much that hitters lose a lot of at bats, but there's enough where the infielders and outfielders can go make some plays.
Bounced to short. Hanau up with it, throws on to first. That's got to be a bit of a confidence boost right there after the rough last half inning defensively for him.
Just thinking the same thing. Sometimes you just got to go back to basics, makes the play, sets, makes a good throw.
Sometimes the fielder, you want the next ball to come right to you.
Yeah.
Just because you want to get those bad thoughts out of your mind.
Plus, he's the leading hitter for the Golden Falcons. He's going to come around at least two more times, you would think.
First pitch to Brennan, a strike. Brennan, a single back in the second inning, and then reached on an error in the fourth and came around to score.
Yeah, he's really tested the Felician defense today, spraying the ball around.
Then applied the tag of DeAngelis at home plate back in the fourth inning that would have made it at that time, 3-1 Felician. So saved a run there, and as we said, that was in the fourth and sparked the Eagles. In the bottom half of the fourth, they scored 3 times. That pitch misses high and just outside. 1-2 the count.
Looks like this is Post's 46th game this year, and it's Brennan's 40th. Now, I don't know if those are all behind the plate. I'm not sure if he's DH'd at all, but that's a lot of games for a catcher.
And on the hands there, swung on, fisted into center field, beg your pardon.
But as we've seen the last 3 years, he's also that good a hitter.
Skrvanek under it there for the out.
And Brennan with an animated discussion with the next hitter about what he saw from Enright.
And that'll be DJ Karen. Karen flew out to left back in the second inning, singled and scored in the fourth.
Infield's got Karen played to pull a bit. Third baseman near the bag. Hey, now it's shortstop in the hole. Torres at second, shaded toward second base. Now even more so.
Pitch misses inside. 1-0 the count to Karen.
Outfield, however, fairly straight away. We talked yesterday about how teams are using more video. They have more spray charts. There's a lot more data available. As we were talking about data before. A lot more data available than ever before, even in Division II. And you see the exotic defensive that started in the major leagues and have worked their way down.
That pitch nicks the outside corner. 2-1 the count. Post 26-19 overall. That pitch outside. Currently number 4 in the latest NCAA Division II East Region rankings. Felician number 9. So if the regional started today, Post would be in. Felician would not. We were talking about it yesterday. You want to win this championship, there's no doubt. You want the trophy, you want the banner. But for Jefferson, Post, Goldie, still solid opportunities to get an at-large to the regional next week. Felician's going to have to win this. Unless something crazy happens that some of the teams above them fall out. Gavin Enright with the strikeout there, and looks like he flashed a little bit of a sign to the Post dugout there. Kind of told him to stop the chirping. But a big strikeout there of Karen. 3 up, 3 down. So Enright coming in and supplying Felician with exactly what they need. Mm-hmm. We head to the top of the 6th. 4-2 Post leads it. Back with more after this on the CACC Network.
I thought the pace win would help more than it did.
We head to the top of the 6th. Skrvanek. To lead off, the 5, 6, 7 hitters due up for Felician here in the 6th.
Christianus is just high there.
0 for 2 today. Flew out to center in the second. Popped out to second base in the 4th. That one lifted foul.
Just to follow up on your conversation last inning about the regional rankings, with Felician in the 9 spot and 7 teams make it, the biggest reason why Felician would have to win this tournament, besides the obvious issue of the automatic qualifier, is that if Felician doesn't win this tournament, that means you're going to have 2 more losses added to their slate. And they're already in the 9th spot.
And I do need to correct, too. I had my CACC teams mixed up. Goldie Beacom 4th, post 5.
Okay.
So my bad. That one lifted foul as well.
Early
But
in my,
nice problem to have that
It is.
I'm mixing up the CACC teams
It is,
to where
it
they
is.
are 4 and 5 in the regional rankings.
early in my sports information career, I was an assistant at Southern Connecticut State under Hall of Fame SID Rick Letty, and I was the baseball contact. We had our baseball coach at the time, the guy before Tim Shea, was a guy with a West Virginia drawl named Joe Bandiera. We'll see what happens on this pitch. And it was the late 1990s, and it was just when kids were starting to say all the time, my bad, my bad. And one kid made an error, and he walked off the field and gave Coach Bandiera one of these, my bad, my bad. And Coach went off. He said, my bad, my bad. How come no one ever says my good? I have never forgotten it 25 years later.
That one a slow roller. And Rivera not able to come up with it, but that was dying in the grass.
Yeah.
So a leadoff single there for Skirvin. I got to find out. In the pronunciation chart, Skirvinic.
Right, the PA announcer saying Skirvanic. I should talk to him after the game. So last inning, Felician played the short game to try to get to move the runner up when they got the leadoff man on and tried to get 1 run closer. Let's see what happens here.
And it brings DeAngelis, the designated hitter, to the plate.
Who doesn't show bunt.
Singled back in the 4th inning, moved all the way to 3rd, and then was thrown out at home. That was the 2nd out of the inning, and that ended a threat where Felician was looking to at least get 1 run at the time to add to its lead. It would have been 3-1 if he was safe. It wasn't. It remained 2-1. Christiana escaped the jam, and then Post plated a trio of runs in the bottom of the 4th to take the 4-2 lead that it has currently. Pitch in there for a strike.
Nice job by Christiana throwing quality strikes, getting ahead without throwing the ball anywhere near the middle of the plate.
And he gets ahead 0-2 to DeAngelis. That one gets into center field, base hit. And the first 2 runners aboard here for the Golden Falcons in the 6th.
Christiana's going to want that one back. 0-2 pitch that got too much of the plate. Had a chance to finish off the hitter. Said he's got 2 on, nobody out. Now an interesting situation because Medrano, I believe, has 5 hits in this tournament. But he also handles the bat well. Felician down 2 with 2 on and nobody out. Might look for the short game here. Sixth inning of a 9-inning game.
Medrano gets the bunt down. Only play at first, so he gets the job done. Moves the 2 runners, the lead runners, up into scoring position.
And again, we talked about earlier in the game with Cristiano falling off towards first base. Would have been a very difficult play for him to turn around and try to make the throw to third, even though he had fielded the ball. And Skrivenic was only halfway there.
That'll bring Biolsi to the plate. Had a sacrifice bunt back in the 3rd.
And Felician, I'm sorry, Doug. Felician is swing away from tying the game.
Reach on a fielder's choice in the 4th. That pitch grabs the outer half of the plate. 0-1 the count.
It brings to mind, and I told the story yesterday, but I don't remember what game it was in, that my first boss at Felician was J.R. Donallo. He was my AD for 15 of those 16 years, but he's also a very accomplished broadcaster. As the bunt was on.
Is J.R. watching this? What time?
J.R. is not watching this because J.R. is still the Felician men's golf coach, and he is in West Virginia with his NCAA qualifying individual golfer, Pablo Hidalgo.
I was looking at the time. It's 1:30. Pablo, I think last Andrew Torriello, the athletic director at Felician, who was down there for a couple days watching Pablo, mentioned that there was some weather down there. That his tee time today was pushed back to 3.
So maybe J.R. might be tuning in. Just missed outside with that pitch. There's a reason.
Pablo, I'm sure, is either on the range or on the practice putting green right now.
BLC stays alive. There's a reason why I brought that up, and that's because JR is also an accomplished broadcaster in the region, has done several CACC championships, in fact, and gave me some advice when he found out I was taking on this assignment.
1-2 the count to BLC. And stays alive. That one, Christiana was not happy there. He kind of
looked like it was off the plate, though. It's a pitch that umpires used to call back in the day, but with all the cameras around, the ball's not on the plate.
That one bounced foul.
And some of the broadcasting advice JR gave me was less is more. If there's nothing to say, don't say anything, which I thought was pretty simple and sound. He said, relax and talk about baseball. And the third thing he said is the one I'm having trouble with. He said, wait until Doug finishes talking. So
I thought the third one was going to be don't kill Doug. 2-2 the count. Oh,
they went to
the second base umpire.
Three-man system, so the first base umpire's in the middle of the diamond with runners on second and third. Did look like he held up.
So count runs full, 3-2. 1 out, runners at second and third here for Felician in the sixth. Swing and a miss, big strikeout there for Christiana.
Nice challenge, got the better of him.
And he is now just 1 out away from escaping another jam here.
And it's the 9-hitter Alex Torres.
Torres reached on a fielder's choice, was credited with an RBI back in the third inning, and then flew out to left back in the fourth.
As I mentioned yesterday, Torres did not begin the season as a starter. He's a fifth-year senior, though, so a very experienced player, but moved into the lineup when Felician's shortstop Cole Porter suffered an injury.
And has performed very well in the field this weekend. That pitch in there for a strike, 0-1 the count.
They'd love a big hit from him here to potentially tie the game.
That pitch over for a strike. And Christiana gets ahead quickly, 0-2.
Not messing around.
Takes a deep breath. Comes to the plate. That one just misses outside, and Christiana not happy there. You could see him wince.
However, I will say he's hit that spot 3 times this inning, and it's been the same call all 3 times.
It has been consistent, no doubt.
And it's probably not a strike. It looks like it's off the plate just slightly. Nice pitch.
That pitch over for a called third strike. Christiana escapes the jam once again. 4-2. Post still holds the 2-run lead. We head to the bottom of the sixth. Back with more after this on the CACC Network. We head to the bottom of the sixth inning. 4-2 Post over Felician. 6, 7, 8 hitters due up for the Eagles. Kelly, Rivera, and Keller. Gavin Enright still on the mound for Felician. Came on and escaped a jam in the fourth inning after it was already 4-2 Post. Was able to get the next 2 outs. And then in the fifth, had a 1-2-3 fifth inning, retired the 3-4-5 batters in a row. So, see what happens here. Jalen Kelly at the plate. Kelly today grounded out to second, back in the second, walked and came around to score in the fourth. Kelly with 2 home runs yesterday. It was 4-0 yesterday. Post trailed Goldie Beacom. This one into left field. Going to drop in there for a base hit. Leadoff single for Kelly. But it was 4-0. Goldie Beacom had just went up 4-0, and then Kelly able to respond with a 3-run blast the next half inning and make it 4-3 at the time. And as my partner said, he's had to step away here for a moment, but as he said at the time, he said that gives Post the belief that it could do it. And ultimately it did. That one lined over the head of Hanau. It's going to put runners at first and second, nobody out here in the sixth. That was Rivera with the single. And so just like the top of the sixth, Felician got first two batters aboard. Couldn't do anything with it. Post does it here. We'll see if they can do something with it. We're now joined here by CACC Commissioner Dan Mara for a few moments.
Greetings, Doug.
We got a 4-2 game. Had some interesting game situations here.
We have.
It's been a pretty good one so far.
Yep.
Keller at the plate. 2 for 2 today with a pair of doubles. Scored a run in the third. And I was looking down there.
Foul ball
chopped
on the
that.
bunt attempt.
Okay, foul ball on the bunt attempt. So Felician got its first 2 batters aboard here in the top of the sixth. Couldn't do anything with it. Christiana was able to get back-to-back strikeouts of Bialci and Torres to end the inning, and now Post has a chance. Back-to-back singles by Kelly and Rivera. And it's an 0-1 count on Keller. We're talking here, this Gavin Enright for Felician came in on a jam. Only 1 out, already down 4-2. Escaped that back in the fourth, and then had a nice 1-2-3 fifth. Has another jam here, but not too bad here for this freshman in his first CACC tournament appearance.
Made a great defensive play. Get the tag at the
Throw
plate.
down to first. Oh, gets away from Torres, who was covering the bag. That's going to allow Kelly to move up to third.
Felician pitching has been victimized by their defense today.
Yes.
Pair of miscues at shortstop, misplay in right field. That play right there.
And that's too bad because Torres, who was covering the bag there at first, came over from his second base position. He's showing a pretty nifty glove here this weekend so far. 0-2 the count now to Keller. That one ripped foul over towards the first base grandstand. We were having a discussion yesterday, and maybe Commissioner Mara, you can fill in a little bit, since you are the unofficial mayor of Waterbury.
Oh.
Who are some of the famous names that have played here at Municipal Stadium? Did Babe Ruth play here at one time?
No Babe Ruth. Ted Williams did hit here.
Ted Williams hit here? Okay, that's pretty darn good name.
This is the site where legendary softball pitcher Joan Joyce struck out the splendid Splinter.
Okay.
Of course, Waterbury was a minor league baseball city for many, many years.
In the Eastern League?
In the Eastern League, Double A. The Giants, Indians, Dodgers. Probably Bobby Bonds would be one of the better-known players to pass through here during their minor league days.
Swing and a miss there. Big strikeout for Enright.
Went on to a great career with the San Francisco Giants and the New York Yankees.
That'll bring the center fielder, Danny Gill, to the plate. Gill walked and ultimately advanced to third back in the third inning. Couldn't come around to score. Struck out swinging in the fourth. He delivered that walk-off hit yesterday to lift Post to the victory over Goldie Beacom 9-8 to get to this winner's bracket game today. Takes the first pitch strike there from Enright. 0-1 the count. Please do go on.
Well, no, I mean, they're in the Eastern League for a significant number of years. And then in the late 90s, independent ball came with the Waterbury Spirit. And who was the gentleman got a base hit to beat the Pirates? Scored Sid Breen.
That would be Francisco Cabrera.
Francisco
He played
Cabrera.
here?
Francisco Cabrera played for the Waterbury Spirit here.
Wow. How many years after that moment? How the mighty had fallen.
Francisco would have played in Waterbury maybe about 1999.
Okay.
98, 99, 2000, somewhere in there. The Spirit.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because in 1999 was the first year of the Altoona Curve in the Eastern League, and Sid Breen came back to throw out a first pitch at a Curve game, and they were a Pirates affiliate,
right.
And he got booed relentlessly. That one under the glove of Voss. This is going to score a run. Oh, the defensive miscues continue, and it is now 5-2 Eagles. Sorry to cut you off there. Please
do go on. No problem, Doug. I'm just going to reiterate that the Golden Falcon pitching staff has been let down by the defense so far in this one.
So runners at first and second. A run across here in the frame, 5-2. And still only one out. And that brings back the top of the order and Michael Pavlicek, the right fielder. Pitch low, blocked there by Medrano. So, yes, as I was saying, Sid Breen got booed relentlessly. And I'm sure Francisco Cabrera was probably a fan favorite here.
Yeah, he was still a good hitter at that point in his career. The Spirit mostly had players who had brief minor league careers. A former major leaguer was a little rare for them. I don't think they were one of those independent teams with a budget for that type of thing.
Spirit, what league were they? Not Can-Am, but were they Can-Am?
I think they were the Can-Am League, yeah. Or the Northeast League.
Pavlicek can't check his swing there. 2-1 the count now.
They were supposed to be the Waterbury Wizards. I think they might have actually played a year as the Waterbury Wizards. And they announced themselves as the Waterbury Wizard, and they got sued by the NBA franchise.
Really? Interesting.
So
swung on. That could get into right center. It will. This is going to score one. Still only one out. Now a pair of runners in scoring position. 6-2 Eagles. RBI double for Pavlicek.
Golden Falcons have to be careful this one doesn't get away from them here. 4 runs, you're still within striking distance, but much more, and they could be looking at playing the second game today.
And that brings the shortstop, Evan Corwell, to the plate. 0 for 3 today. Pair of strikeouts. Did have a RBI sac fly back in the third. First pitch of ball to Cornwell, so still only one out. Runners at second and third for the Eagles. 2 runs across this inning. They now lead at 6-2. Cornwell, the number 2 hitter in the lineup for Ray Skold's bunch today. Count now 2-0. Cornwell, all-conference shortstop. That one ripped into right field, base hit. This is going to bring home one. Runner holds at third. 7-2 Eagles. RBI single for Cornwell. Gill comes home to score on the play. Pavlicek moves up to third. And this brings up the first baseman, Chris Corchado, to the plate. 0 for 3 today.
Doug, can you see, is there action in the Golden Falcon bullpen?
There is. Now the This one grounded to second. Torres up with it, throws on to first. It's going to score a run, though. 8-2 your score. RBI ground out there for Crachado. And that'll bring the catcher, Jimmy Brennan, to the plate. Looks like, if I can see correctly, and it's tough because of the backstop fencing and where we're angled here, the brick wall, it looks like number 35, Kyle Bednarski, a sophomore righty from West Milford, New Jersey. But it could also be Dean Daddio, number 36. I can't.
Well, Coach Lang is in a situation now. He's going to have to make a decision how he's going to handle his pitching down 6 here.
Yes.
If he's going to.
Because now being
Try to
down 8-2, yeah.
The loser of this game needs to win 3 to get the championship. The winner only needs to win 1. So it's a huge difference pitching-wise.
Swung on, lifted into left field. Kendrick going back to the track, to the wall, makes the catch.
Beautiful.
Oh, great play there in left field by Kendrick. Good ride, though, by Brennan. But the Eagles, they score 4 times. They take an 8-2 lead. We head to the top of the 7th. Great to be joined there by Commissioner Mara. Mark Mentone will join me in the booth once again. Back with more after this on the CACC Network. We head now to the top of the 7th at Municipal Stadium. First game of day 2 of the 2024 CACC Baseball Championship Double Elimination Tournament. Top of the order due up for the Golden Falcons here in the 7th. Kendrick, Walters, and Hanau. This is actually the 3rd time today, partner, that Felician has the 1-2-3 hitters leading off an inning. It happened in the 1st, happened in the 5th. Now, no runs either time. The previous 2 times. So that's a thing to mark down, because typically you'd like to think your top of your order could get you going, but nice job by Joe Christiana to keep things limited.
And those 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th, everything going post way now, because Joe Christiana now could possibly finish this game stress-free and prevent the Eagles from using any other pitchers heading into the championship round. I imagine that's his goal for the last 3 innings.
Kendrick today, 0 for 1, has had 3 plate appearances, has walked a pair of times. Walked in the 3rd, eventually got all the way to 3rd, couldn't come home. Then in the 5th he drew a walk, and
now
he got to 2nd there, but he drops that one into left field.
Now from the Felician side, now the short game is out of play. Now your goal is to stockpile base runners. Keep the line moving as much as you possibly can with the 6-run deficit.
That'll bring Walters to the plate. Walters today flew out in the 1st. Had a bunt back in the 5th that moved Kendrick. Kendrick drew the leadoff walk, and that bunt got Kendrick up to 2nd.
You see Coach Steve Lang in the 3rd flashing the signs. Not a lot of signs for this situation.
This is bunt shown there by Walters. This is kind of a look for your pitch, drive it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there because there's only 9 outs left. You don't want to give any away with a 6-run deficit.
Bunt shown, pulled back though.
Might have been taking a strike.
1-1 the count.
Didn't look like he had any thought about bunting there, no matter where the pitch was. So we'll see.
Now, if you're Kendrick, do you get aggressive with him and try to steal second, get into scoring position?
I'd say no. Again, you've only got 9 outs left. You're chasing 6 runs.
Throw over to first.
I know the game is played different now than when we were growing up, but I'd still say no. You really can't afford an out in the base paths. 9 outs are precious.
Pitch misses outside. 2-1 the count.
This game a little more pace than the 3 games yesterday.
That one.
Let's see.
Oh, nice job by Cornwell to cut it off. Oh, ball gets away from the second baseman. Runners are going to move up to second and third, so nobody out, and you got a pair of runners in scoring position. That was a nice job by Cornwell to cut that off. I was about ready to say it was going through the left side for a base hit, but once again, Cornwell, like he did earlier today, nice job to range into the hole there, but just had to rush that throw and skipped under the glove there of Keller at second base.
And we talked earlier about how Felician's leading hitter, hey now, may come around twice more. Here's one with 2 guys on base. Batting right against the right-handed Christiana.
So that one brushes an owl back.
Base hit,
1-0 the count.
base hit here gives Felician a little hope.
A base hit here would be huge for Hanau's confidence as well. It's been a rough day in the field for him, and as you mentioned, kind of a rough tournament so far at the plate.
Tracked that one all the way in. Was called a strike. Yeah, it's been quiet.
Reached base back in the third on a fielder's choice. Swung on, lifted into left field. Could this get over Karen's head? It will. It's going to get over the wall. Home run, 3-run shot for Hanau. And it is now 8-5.
I forgot who we said it about yesterday. It might have been Jimmy Brennan. Can't keep a good man down.
Yeah, that was. And Brennan had a terrific game there against Goldie Beacom, especially those last few innings.
Haydow made 2 errors as Post scored 3 runs in the 4th inning. Gets 3 back there for Felician as they cut the lead in half. Far from over. Now, if they get the next hitter on, now the short game may come back and play. Now you try to cut into the lead a little bit further.
So what you're saying is now, after Hanau hit the home run.
That's what I'm saying, man.
There you go. So that brings Voss to the plate. 8-5 is your score. Still nobody out. So now if you're Christiana, it's just settle, nobody on, focus on the hitter at the plate. That pitch over for a strike, 1-1 the count.
And Dowdy was a player that was still at Felician my last year there, and finally, after saying his name about 10 different ways on the PA, I finally went down and asked the dugout, and they said, think about it as hey now. So I kept that in mind, and I got it right, and then found out later I was getting the first name wrong also. But
Dowdy.
Tough name to say.
I've been saying Hanau.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But Dowdy.
Dowdy. Yep.
Dowdy.
It's not an R.
One bounced to short. Okay, cut off though by Rivera. Throws to first. Oh, nice play there by Rivera. Throws on to get Voss.
If nothing else, that swing by Hinau gives Felician a little bit of hope.
And that brings Skirvinick to the plate, the center fielder. Singled back in the 6th and got all the way to third. Just could not be brought home. As Christiana was able to escape that jam with back-to-back strikeouts of Biolsi and Torres to end the inning. 1-0 the count now to Skirvinick. Pitch in there for a called strike. Count even at 1-1. 1 out here in the 7th inning. That pitch in there. 1-2.
Nice job of changing speeds.
Christiana, first team all-conference pitcher this year. One of 2 first-team all-conference pitchers for Post. We saw the other one yesterday, Brennan Holligan, in relief. helped stabilize Post as they were able to come from behind for that 9-8 win. That one driven to center field. Oh, nice job there by Gill. Over the shoulder catch as he was running onto the warning track. 2 away. So Skirvinick gave it a nice ride, but
picked the wrong part of the ballpark and the wrong guy.
Wrong center. Yeah, Gill, we've seen him cover a lot of ground out there these last few years. And that will bring DeAngelis, the designated hitter, at the plate. 2 for 3 today, a pair of doubles. Was thrown out at home back in the 4th inning that would have made it 3-1 Felician. But that allowed Christiana to escape the jam, and that sparked Post because then in the bottom half of the 4th, it scored 3 times to take a 4-2 lead at the time. Then they tacked on 4 more last inning to make it 8-2, but now it's 8-5, courtesy of the 3-run blast by Hanau. 2-1 the count now to DeAngelis.
Like DeAngelis was taking a strike there.
Foul to the backstop. 2-2 the count. So what time did you get home last night from the ballpark?
I want to say 10:30.
10:30? Okay. Yeah, I want to say probably about that, probably maybe a little bit earlier than you. So I'm not as far away from the ballpark. But till getting everything done, finishing up all the updates, I think it was about 11:45.
Yeah, and that's the difference.
I finally put my head on the pillow.
That's the difference between our current lives is when you get home, you still have work to do. I lived that life a long time.
Swing and a miss by DeAngelis. Big strikeout there for Christiana. 3-run homer, though, given up to Hanau. Cuts the lead in half. Goes from 6 now to 3, but Post still leads at 8-5. Time to stretch it out as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Back with more after this on the CACC Network. We head to the bottom of the 7th, 8-5 Post over Felician. New pitcher on the mound for the Golden Falcons. That is sophomore right-hander Kyle Bednarski from West Milford, New Jersey. We'll get you the numbers here on Bednarski. Bednarski this year, in 9 appearances, a 1-0 record, all out of the pen, by the way, a 2.35 ERA, 7 2/3 innings pitched, has given up 10 hits, only allowed 2 runs, struck out 7 with just 1 walk. So some good numbers coming out of the pen here.
And what jumps out right away is the 9 appearances, but only the 7 2/3 innings. So with potentially 3 innings left to fill, we'll see how the Golden Falcons choose to play this.
Good strikeout to walk ratio.
Yep.
5, 6, 7 hitters due up. Karen grounds that. Oh, Bednarski tried to field it, couldn't. Karen was busting down the line.
And no matter how it's scored, Felicia continues to not be able to catch and throw the baseball. Post keeps the pressure on.
Calling that a let's see here. Waiting for live stats to update. That's got to be an E1, I would be. I mean, Karen was getting down the line, but he wasn't necessarily going to beat it out if fielded cleanly by Bednarski. That brings Kelly to the plate. Kelly led off the last inning with a single and came around to score.
We talked about yesterday how teams with a lead try to get it past the grand slam.
That pitch over for called strike.
So Post may choose to play it that way, especially if they can get the runner to second base.
So Medrano, look, I wonder if Medrano was the one that asked us to have the home plate dusted off there. And
it's possible.
Little exchange there between the umpire and catcher. As you said, that's got to be a friendship that you've got to have over the course of a game. That pitch misses outside, 2-1 the count.
Umpire's been very honest today with the ball strike, wide of the plate.
And as you said, they're both in there to protect each other.
Mm-hmm.
That one deposited in center field, base hit. First two batters aboard for the Eagles yet again.
It's important to note what happened after Henau's 3-run home run. Cristiano records 3 consecutive outs, and the Eagles put their first 2 guys on base. Not happy to sit on the 3-run lead. I mean, nor should they be, but that's kind of logical, but they're doing what they need to do to win this game. Again, it's an obvious statement, but such an easier path to win the tournament if you win this game as opposed to having to win 1 today and 2 tomorrow.
Pitch high.
Trying to get these 2 runners in. That would put them up 5 and out of that grand slam range.
And only 6 outs left to play with for Felician.
Mm-hmm. Who just scored 3 runs, and we're trying to capture momentum. Cristiano shut it down after that. It'd be tough on Felician if Post scored any more.
1-1 the count now on Rivera. Rivera reached on an E6 back in the 4th. Singled in the 6th, came around to score. Reminder, fans, stick around following the game. We'll get you the final numbers from this one. We'll talk with the MVP of the game. And we'll set the table for the day's second game. 2 games today here on day 2 of the championship. And that will feature Jefferson versus the loser of this one.
Do you have any idea what the delay is?
Not sure.
It was like a bookkeeping issue of some sort. Okay, thank you very much.
Not sure what was something said. Did anybody see? Oh, okay. Maybe something said from the Felician dugout to Kelly on first. Maybe bunt put down by Rivera. Nice job. Sacrifices himself to move the runners up into scoring position.
If Voss was able to stay on his feet as he fielded the ball, he may have taken a shot across the diamond at the force at third, pumped and then turned around and got the out at first base.
That'll bring the second baseman, Keller, to the plate. Keller, with a pair of doubles today, scored a run in the 3rd, has 2 RBIs, struck out swinging back in the 6th.
Already a difficult path for Felician. If these 2 runs score, it's going to be really tough.
Especially with a guy at the plate, the number 8 hitter who's been dialed in. A couple extra base hits already today. Okay, now do we have got a meeting at the mound here, just to make sure everybody's on the same page. Now, Chris Langen called to the pen.
I was thinking Skoll, and then Sokol came to mind, and it's like Steve, and then just kind of Steve. Steve. Right here.
So Bednarski done for the day. This call to the pen, and this is, give me this number here, 23, is that Max Weber, freshman righty from Hicksville, New York?
I don't think so.
Is that 30? Is it? No.
I'm guessing it's Nick DiCarlo.
Is it 25, not 23? How did you do it all these years with the black uniforms and the dark green letters with hardly a print? That's 23. Max Weber, freshman righty. Let's get the numbers on Max Weber. Weber, 3 appearances this year, all out of the pen. 16.20 ERA, 3 1/3 innings pitched, 7 hits given up, 8 runs allowed, 6 earned, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. So, not an easy situation to put a freshman hurler in. But things you got to do when you're in the postseason.
The winner of this plays Franklin Pierce for the championship tomorrow, right?
I did Post University with this thing like shout out your seniors. So I put one up. Instead of all our student athletes. Wait, actually, Jack the Post University story. I don't know if anybody's actually. Like, some teams already up 1-0 and the Warriors already up 3-0. First thing is.
So first pitch, swing and a miss there.
And again, if you're Felician, you're looking for a strikeout pop-up. Middle infielder's halfway.
Chopped foul to the backstop.
Kind of hedging their bet a little bit.
Now, partner. Oh, I'm sorry not to interrupt you. I
No.
interrupted you now.
Yeah, it's catchy.
Well, I was going to ask you the most important question right now of the day. In between games here, and Mike Brienza, the assistant AD at Post, does a nice job with catering here. We've got Jersey Mike's and Chick-fil-A behind us. What are you going with between games? Are you going to sample a little bit of both?
Well, it's a secret that you don't know. I already sampled a little bit while Commissioner Mara was on the broadcast with you.
So you sampled a little bit of both.
No, I just went Chick-fil-A.
You just went Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
So you're going to go Jersey Mike's in between games.
But here's the upset. It's amazing that it took until our 4th game for us to talk about food.
That's true. We haven't even talked potato salad. And for longtime listeners of this show, oh, off the glove. Oh, that was tough because Walters had to climb the ladder for that one. A run scores 9-5.
Yeah, again, regardless of how the scoring pencils out in the accounting, it's plays that Coach Langen expects his players to make, especially at this point in the season.
That brings Danny Gill to the plate. Yeah, that's one of those. It has just not gone the way of the Golden Falcons today in the field. Here's the question. Do you think we have anybody listening today that even knows about the potato salad?
No. Unless
Nobody?
J.R. Donella, like you said, is tuning in now.
No seniors
No.
would we have? No.
Or unless Coach himself is tuning in.
If Rick Giannetti was tuning in right now, I guarantee you he would. He probably would have had some. 0-2 the count to Gill. Gill has reached base twice today. Scored a run. That was back in the 6th. That pitch misses low. 1-2 the count. So still only one away here in the bottom of the 7th. One run across. Runners at first and second. 9-5. So one more run. And as you've said the last 2 days, takes the grand slam out of it.
Mm-hmm. Just makes
Which
the
in-
coaching staff breathe that much easier.
Well, and in the metal bat era, it's a little bit easier to get the grand slam.
Yeah.
You can get 3 guys on, and then the guy at the plate swing away. If you find a pitch, drive it.
And the hitters have been picking on that left field fence. It's about the only place you can get a ball out of here.
This was 6 home runs this weekend. We had
Yep.
5 yesterday, 1 today.
But that was Felician's first.
That was Felician's first of the tournament. Yes, it was. And what a shot it was! You are not cheaping out on a home run here at Municipal. And that one was over. That was over the white CACC circular logo.
Yeah.
What are you calling that? About 370 something till it cleared the fence?
Between 349 and 382, sure, yeah. And it cleared by a decent distance.
And
Big strikeout there for Weber.
And I'm awful at picking numbers. Yeah, big strikeout there. 2 outs now. We head back to the top of the order. Pavlicek. Swing and a miss there. Well, this if Weber is able to escape this jam here, you know, that it's the second time this game that you brought a freshman out of the pen and they've been able to avoid damage. And, you know, it's tough because the one run was scored when he was on the mound, but
Right.
that was an error. Did they charge an error on that one? Just wanted to make sure. No, they called it a single. They called it a base hit for Keller. 1-1 the count. So Jefferson has now arrived at the ballpark.
Just got a text from Coach Giannetti. He wants to know, what are you talking about that I would have eaten?
He knows.
He just tuned in. He just turned it on and heard his name and wants to know what we're talking about.
Well, the catering, the long-time catering here in the press box, we were talking about either Chick-fil-A or Jersey Mike's. And for years it's always been catered, and it has been this weekend by Jesse Camille's. So all the chicken parm and the penne pasta and all those types of things.
But I'm drawing a blank on the women's basketball coach here that you used to work with.
John Pleff.
Thank you.
Yes.
You used to talk about the potato salad on the air, about how good it was.
And we had it here, too.
Yes.
We had, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Today,
yeah.
this weekend, yes. Coach Plefka, of course, played basketball and baseball at Texas Tech.
And Coach Giannetti would join us up here in the booth. He'd come up to the press box with the assistants, and we actually would get some good info from him going into the next game. He would tip us off on who the starter was, or what there were any lineup changes. He knew, trusting that we wouldn't tip it off to the
I have
other
a secret
team,
for you, but you can't tell Kellyanne DeGiulio or Kellyanne Light at Dominican this. But I'm Coach Giannetti's favorite CACC SID.
Whoa. Ooh.
I just want you to know that.
Airing some dirty laundry here at the CACC. 1-2 the count to Pavlicek. You may get a nasty text from him saying, "Don't say another word."
Or from her.
Yeah, well, yeah.
More likely.
Yeah. Oh, no, if she's going to yell at anybody, she's going to yell at him. 2-2 the count to Pavlicek, 2 outs.
Coach Giannetti votes for Jersey Mike's.
All right, Jersey Mike's. All right. the year that they won it in 17, here, Dominican that is, he had come up with Chad Dusler. They got some food. And he had tipped me off that it was a winner's bracket game. And he did not go with his number 2. He went drawing a walk there for Pavlicek, so loads the bases. He went with another pitcher, and it paid off because they got into the final, championship final, and he was able to save his pitching in for the next day, which paid off big because they lost the championship game to Chestnut Hill. They had to come back in the second game. Chestnut Hill went through all their pitching, and Dominican still had some guys out of the pen that they could mix and match and do stuff with. And
that's why
it paid off that day.
Well, that's why Coach Giannetti has 900 and something wins more than us. As this ball hangs out to center field, caught. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna
You do
say
the play-by-play, please.
Well, that does it for Post here in the bottom of the 7th. They do get a run. They lead at 9-5. We'll come back for the top of the 8th. Back with more after this on the CACC Network. We head to the top of the 8th here at Municipal Stadium, and my partner has created a civil war down in Orangeburg, New York, between Rick Giannetti and Kellyanne DeJulios. We're getting a lot of text messages now. It's always fun when we hear people check in on games, and how many times have we heard from, somebody giving us information if we were trying to remember or look back on it. It was LT Struble yesterday.
Yeah.
Gave us a couple.
I remember going back to, this will come into play tomorrow possibly, going back to 2016. We were trying to figure out when the last time the championship Saturday went to 2 games, and it was Steve Langen that actually rang in and said that it had been 10 years. So now it's been happening a little bit more often lately, but the conference went 10 years in this tournament without the championship Saturday going to the second game from 06 to 16. New pitcher for the Eagles.
7, 8, 9 hitters due up for Felician here in the 8th. We'll get back to that one here in a second. Post, as you mentioned, new pitcher. Is that number 20,
Yep.
Eric Katowski?
That's
the
him.
Senior righty from Cheshire, Connecticut, right down the road.
Yeah.
Next town over from where my humble abode is.
Mine as well. Hamden borders Cheshire.
Yep. Let me get you Gutowski's stats here, and we will revisit that here in a moment. Gutowski this year, 9 appearances, a 9.00 ERA, 12 innings pitched, 19 hits given up, 13 runs allowed, only 12 earned, 9 strikeouts, 6 walks. Okay, so 16 was he had to play 2 on Saturday because that was Felician coming out of the losers bracket. 17, Dominican wins it out of the winners bracket, but they had to win the second game.
Are you doing this by memory?
I'm doing this by memory.
God bless.
18, Wilmington comes out of the winners bracket and beats Felician twice on Saturday. This one skied to center. Gill under it for the out. Madrano retired.
I was here. That is correct.
I just gave you 18, right? Yeah,
Yep.
18. 19 was 1 game. Wilmington beat Post.
Okay.
20, nothing happened. That was
Yep.
COVID. 21 was just a single game elimination. Won by Dominican at Jefferson.
Okay.
And maybe Coach Giannetti can give me the name of the kid, the freshman that had the winning hit, that drove in the winning run in the 9th. And then the closer who closed it out in the 9th, I can see their faces. I do not remember their names, but they won that game. And then 22 was won by Wilmington. Single game. That was against
I believe
Post.
it was 2 games.
No. Wilmington beat.
Post twice,
No.
I think. Or one, they split?
No, it went 2. Post
went
won
2.
the first game. Wilmington won the second one. Yes.
The same thing last year, went 2 games. Felician was in the winner's bracket, lost the first game, won the second game.
And 19, Wilmington beat Dominican in the championship
Okay.
final.
But before that, it had gone from 06 when Dominican beat Felician twice to 16 when Felician beat Jefferson twice without it going a second game.
Bielsi strikes out. Okay, so, 19, Wilmington beats Dominican in a single game. We said 21. 22, Wilmington beats Post in 2 games. And then last year, Felician beats Post in 2 games.
And I don't know what you started here, but
That brings Torres to the plate.
I just got another vote for Jersey Mike's.
Who voted Jersey Mike's?
Felician softball coach Phil Delgado.
Okay. That pitch over for a called strike. But he's a Jersey guy. He's going to be biased on this one. Not saying that Jersey Mike's is bad. I'm going to sample both. I'm not picking. Oh, nice throw over from third there by Rivera.
And a nice job by Katowski.
Yeah. Comes in, pitches an efficient 1-2-3. 8th inning. We head to the bottom of the 8th. 9-5 our score. I guess we'll stay on the air here
Okay.
for a little bit. What else? We got some time to talk here. We're giving business to Jersey Mike's and Chick-fil-A. See, I'm going to pick both. I'm going to sample both. I am not.
Well, that's what you do.
I am not going to choose. Why do I have to make
Why do you
it?
have to, yeah.
When I don't have to.
No.
When it's all readily available to me.
Yeah, why discriminate?
Yeah. People are like, what should I choose? What should I choose? Choose both.
Yeah.
You have that option.
That's it.
No one's holding a weapon to your head telling you to choose. You can take both.
By the way, I know COVID got in the way, but did you say it was 8 years ago the tournament came back here to Post?
It was 2017 was the first
Okay.
year. Because here's another thing, and either Commissioner Mara can answer this one or Coach Giannetti can. With the exception of the 21 championship that was won at Jefferson,
Right.
Dominicans won all their conference titles, at least in the NCAA era, here at Waterbury, at Municipal.
I don't know if they ever won at Wilmington. But Wilmington was the host of this for I don't know, about a long time, a number of years after Post hosted it the first time around.
First year back in 17, they beat Chestnut Hill.
That makes sense because both the Felicians' early championships were at Wilmington.
Got to the final here in 19. And yeah.
Well, the interesting part to me is this has basically been a 2-team event, and it's really only been won by 4 teams. Since the year 2000, CACC champions in baseball, 9 times Wilmington, 8 times Dominican, 3 times Felician, and 2 times Caldwell. That's it. So Post and Jefferson are looking to bang that door down this year.
Oh, Kellyanne texting me the box score from the 21 championships. We were asking about those names.
Okay.
I was trying to remember here. Thank you to Ms. DiGiulio.
One and one to Corchado.
Shane Hewlett
Okay.
had the winning hit. And then Espinal had the actually he gets credit for the save.
Okay.
I'm sorry, credit for the win. He pitched the final 2 innings.
Okay.
He had one pitch. Jefferson was down to their final strike. He had one pitch left in him, and then he was done. There was nothing else he could give.
Okay.
And he put everything he had into that final pitch to get a swing and a miss.
And how often do we see that in this tournament?
And he was a transfer from Seton Hall.
Okay.
2-2 the count here to.
And I was fascinated by the story you got of Anthony Poirot yesterday in a post-game interview. That he went to college as a catcher. Nice flip. We've seen a lot of that today. A lot of pitchers having to cover first base, a lot of ground balls to the right side.
one away. Yeah, he mentioned that, and I asked him while on the air, I was like, when was the last time you took a college at bat? And he said, well, in the fall.
Okay.
So it wasn't even in the traditional championship season. But he said, and we talked about it during the game, the way he pitched, he left it all out there. He had that diving save in the stab in foul territory. Had 2 productive at-bats. I mean, he made the pitchers throw.
Yeah, he struck out twice, but he threw, I think they threw, he let his teammates see 13 pitches, yeah.
And he said coming back on the bus on the way over for the game yesterday, they said, look, this is our season.
Okay.
This is it. We need to find a way to win and keep it going. And he said, I just told the coaches, I'll do whatever you need me to do.
I walked back into the part where he said he'd go today if he had to.
He said, I'll go tomorrow. I'll go Saturday if I need to. And that lends, I think, illustration to what you said yesterday. Yeah, there's going to be a regional next week, but before you get to the regional, everybody's playing their hearts out to win this one. That one lifted into right field, beyond the glove of Biolsi.
Is that Jimmy Brennan again?
That's going to be Brennan, and that is going to be a stand-up triple for the post catcher.
Man, can he hit. And he catches just about every game.
And a nice effort out there by Biolsi. He laid out just beyond the reach of him there. But that one was tailing away from him. Great piece of hitting there by Brennan. And that brings Karen to the plate.
Like we talked about, Post would love to pick up this run, put it out of her way, put the lead out of the way of a grand slam where one swing can't beat you, or tie you, excuse me.
There's only 3 more outs left to punch a ticket to tomorrow. And Karen here at the plate scored twice today.
Felician with no choice but to bring the infield in.
2-0 the count.
Outfield has to tighten up a bit, try to cut down the run at the plate and a fly ball.
Stephen Wells, we were talking about this a little bit about Jefferson, thinking back to some of the names. Stephen Wells was player of the year, first baseman for Jefferson. The year before him, who was it?
Fernando Garza?
Fernando Garza, yes.
But both of those years, they believe they also had Brandon Quaranta, who's a big power hitter and a relief pitcher.
Had Abraham Almonte, who could deal from the mound.
Who, as we talked about, is now their pitching coach.
Pitching coach, yes.
Yep. Be interesting to find out, if I'm Pat Horvath, I'm not tipping my hand until I fill out the lineup card, the status of Josh Lopez.
That one lifted into right field. However, Biolsa under it for the out. But Brendan's going to be able to tag and come home for the run. So there you go. That's the take the grand slam out of the equation.
And Post has just executed just about everything better than Felician for most of the day.
10-5, our score. So a sac fly RBI.
They've put the ball in play to make Felician make plays. There have been times when Felician hasn't made those plays. Post has taken advantage of every opportunity they've been given.
Well, and if you wanted to add even just one more insurance run, you could here with one swing of the bat here from Jalen Kelly.
It'll be interesting to see if they put this runner in motion.
Kelly today, pair of singles, has scored 2 runs. Now he's going to have 3 singles for the day. Just smacks that one back through the middle.
I had a brain freeze there. It was a sacrifice fly. It wasn't a single. So now there's a runner on first.
All for Karen. Is what?
Yeah.
Okay.
He wasn't on first base. He had a sacrifice fly. He wasn't on base.
So that'll bring Rivera to the plate.
We're in game 4, I guess. Almost allowed.
Oh, we've also been thrown off a little bit with Jersey Mike's and
yeah.
back there.
Food conversations usually get me.
Yeah.
Pinch runner.
And some of us, me, haven't eaten yet.
Ah, okay.
Some of us, you have.
Well, the commissioner was nice enough to do me a solid for a half inning.
Well, I had him on here, and I wanted to check to find out, because we were trying to think of some of the famous names that have played here.
Okay. So. No better source for Waterbury sports history than Dan Mara.
Well, I called him the unofficial mayor.
Oh, yeah.
Waterbury. Jordan Ortiz on now to pinch run at first base for Kelly, the sophomore from Staten Island, New York.
And there's nothing lost there with the 5-run lead, and that's the DH you're running for. So you're hoping that spot's not coming around again. Or if it happens to, you're going to have a huge lead.
And 2 outs here in the inning. Rivera today reached base twice, scored a run, made some nice plays over at third as well. Had to make a couple strong throws over to get some speedy Golden Falcons trying to get down the line. 2-0 the count now to Rivera.
Well, they've made the plays they were supposed to make, made a couple of better than routine plays, a couple of spectacular plays, and Felician hasn't always done that today. Another runner in scoring position that can score with a single on the wild pitch. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Post has just been better.
Well, and the other thing is, too, Christiana ate up innings today.
Yep.
So there again, you've not taxed your pitching going into tomorrow.
And Post, the runner-up in this tournament the last 2 years, 3 outs away from getting themselves another chance.
That pitch misses inside low. Puts runners at first and second. Chris Lange coming out, another call to the pen. So here's a question for you. Logan Waltz threw, let me get you his fine. I read it off earlier. 68 pitches today. If you were to need him, let's say tomorrow, if Felician can get through this elimination game, can you come back with him for an inning if you need
I think he's going to warm up if Felician got to that point and make a decision then. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I don't think he could pitch the next game.
No.
But, I mean, the rules say he's allowed to. But I think he's going to ice, and I think he's done for the day. But I think he'd give it a go.
New pitcher on for Felician. Nick DiMartino, the sophomore righty from Staten Island, New York. We'll get you his numbers. DiMartino this year, in 9 appearances, 0-1 record, 4.82 ERA, 9 1/3 innings pitched, 13 hits given up, 7 runs allowed, only 5 earned, 10 strikeouts to 5 walks.
So if you have a really good game against one team but not another, like they might view you differently.
So now, here's a question. We talked about the elimination game yesterday, the third game, and both teams that were in that game played earlier in the day. And we were like, does one team maybe have an advantage over the other? Elimination game today where you've got a team in Felician that has to turn right around and play, Jefferson, who's had the day off so far. Is there an advantage one way or the other, or is it, again, you ask 5 different people, you're going to get 5 different answers?
I think it's the latter, and I think it's the circumstances. I think Felician still has some pitching left. They just have to execute better. He's probably going to run the same lineup out there. I mean, should this score hold?
And that will bring Keller to the plate. 2 down, runners at first and second for Post. Pitch clips the outside corner for a called strike. 0-1 the count. 2:37 local time here on the East Coast in Waterbury. So if this game wraps up, let's say maybe, just before 3 o'clock. If I had to make a guess, you're probably looking at about a 3:45 start.
Mm-hmm.
It's taken about 40 to 50 minutes for the grounds crew here to get everything ready per game, for each game. And they've done a great job here this weekend so far. City of Waterbury. That one lifted into shallow right. Torres under it for the out, and that will do it for Post in the 8th. But the Eagles, they get another run. They take the grand slam out of play going into the ninth. 10-5, Golden Falcons down to their final 3 outs of this one. Back with more after this on the CACC Network. We head to the top of the ninth. 3 outs left for the Golden Falcons to try to keep this game going, to at least keep its chances alive to be in that winner's bracket. Top of the order due up for the Golden Falcons here in the ninth. The 1-2-3 hitters, Kendrick, Walters, and Hanau. Top of the order led off the 7th inning. That was when Kendrick reached on a single, Walters on a fielder's choice, and then Hanau ripped that 3-run homer over the left field wall. Made it 8-5 at the time, but since then, Post has scored a run each in the 7th and 8th innings to make it 10-5. And I think to the point of my partner, and he's been spot on with it, that in this metal bat era, when it doesn't take much to score runs in bunches, you can take the grand slam out of play. That it makes it allows the team in the lead just to breathe a little bit easier, not have to press as much. So those were 2 crucial runs to make it 10-5 coming into the ninth. So we'll see. Does Felician have some magic in it, or the Golden Falcons going to have to stick around to play Jefferson in an elimination game here? That'll begin. We'll get the time for you, the start time of the next game, but first, let's get through this one here.
Yeah, Felician's hoping it's not for an hour and a half from now.
First pitch, a strike to Kendrick. Kendrick today has reached base 3 times. Drew a walk in both the 3rd and 5th innings, singled and scored in the 7th. That was on that 3-run homer, as we mentioned, from Hanau. Fouled that one off, 0-2 the count. So Gutowski quickly gets ahead of Kendrick. And Gutowski pitched the 8th inning, a nice 1-2-3 8th inning for the Eagles. That pitch outside. 1-2 the count. If Felician were to not win this one and have to stick around, you had mentioned earlier you think that Coach Langen will maybe keep the same lineup or intact for the most part.
I think so, and I'm guessing that the pitcher would be Daniel Cursidis.
Lifted into left, just underneath it. Karen for the out, 1 away.
Nice outing by Gutowski so far.
Yes. Well, looking ahead here for Post, they are to hang on and win this. Ray Skold's going to have some pitching options for tomorrow, whether it's 1 or 2 games. Options to start, coming out of the pen. So if you're Post going into tomorrow with the depth that you have, you got to like your chances because of the options that you have.
Absolutely.
Throwing tomorrow. Pitch high. 1-1 the count.
I don't know much about Post personnel, but one guy I did see. I think I mentioned yesterday. I did a freelance at Bridgeport, and Post happened to be the opponent that day. And that's I got to look at my stat sheet to make sure I'm not going to get confused again.
Nick and Matt Seaman?
Yeah,
I think Nick Seaman.
Nick Seaman.
Yeah, we saw Matt yesterday.
Nick pitched game 2 the day I was at Bridgeport. He throws hard. He's not used as much as his brother, but he's got some nice numbers. 2-0 on the year. opponent batting average of 173, so he's an option. I'm just going with somebody that I'm familiar with that I've actually seen pitch this year.
Well, the Golden Falcons down to their final out. And Hanau at the plate. First pitch over for a called strike.
Gatuski doing what you're supposed to do with a 5-run lead.
Yeah, he has been efficient, closed the door, and hasn't had to throw many pitches, so he can come back tomorrow, definitely. Swung on, lifted foul over towards the first base grandstand.
The only way Post have any chance of losing this game is he starts walking or hitting people. It's very difficult to score 5 runs and tie a game without some free bases.
And Felician down to its final strike. Foul to the backstop, and Al stays alive.
It's a subtle thing and it's a small thing, but it's important that a fifth-year senior is fighting off these pitches because if nothing else, sets the tone for the next game that it looks like Felician is going to have to play.
0-2 the count. That one's going to drop into right field for a base hit.
And if nothing else, that's a message to his teammates. I fought off a couple of pitches. I got a hit. I kept this alive. That's the spirit we need to bring for the rest of this inning and if we have to, into the next game.
Oh, hey, here's
a very small thing.
Here's another thing. You mentioned it. And now, struggled in the field today. It hasn't been hot at the plate here these first 2 days of the tournament. But look at him here. His last 2 at-bats, a 3-run homer, a single. Maybe it's something that's getting him going as you go into an elimination game. Keep your season alive coming up. First pitch over a strike to Voss.
Against the Jefferson team that we saw yesterday, we know can score runs in bunches.
Mm-hmm.
As I mentioned, it'll be interesting to find out the status of Josh Lopez. Left yesterday's game with an injury after hitting his 20th home run of the season.
Hoping he can come back. Really enjoyed watching him play yesterday. That one ripped foul over towards the first base dugout.
Pretty sure he's only the second player in the NCAA era of the CACC to hit 20 home runs in a season.
Felician down to its final strike yet again. And now was able to fight it off and get a 2-out single. Can Voss do something here as well? Swing and a miss. Strikeout. Post punches its ticket to tomorrow's championship final at 11 a.m. And the Eagles will face the winner of our next game between Felician and Jefferson. That will be an elimination game. So for Post, they got 2 chances tomorrow to bring it home. And they will be able to keep their pitching depth in check. Did not have to burn through it yet again today. So Ray Skold squad, big win for them, and now they got a chance maybe to raise the championship trophy and banner tomorrow.
It's their 3rd consecutive trip to the finals, all here on their home field. It's a corny old saying, and maybe the 3rd time will be the charm.
We're going to step aside for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will get you the final numbers, and we will have our post-game interview. Back with more after this on the CACC Network.
Test. 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 Good. Can you hear it clear? Good. Okay. Sounds like we're good.
Eric, the one who
Eric Katowski?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so the receiver's right there, so it seems like there was the fence yesterday that was like
Okay.
causing the issue. So as long as you kind of stay close on this side, I'm on this side.
Yeah.
Probably will work out as long as you keep the microphone.
And where's Keller and Gutowski?
They're on their way.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Jeez. What's that? Yeah.
Worst part, they talk a little long.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Other teams, you might be able to grab them right away, but yeah, I'll double check, but I think the camera should be good.
Okay. Yeah.
Behind official start time.
3:30. Yeah.
Test, 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 test. Test, test, test. Bar's going up on the screen. It is? Okay, good.
We start at 3:30 when 3:30 gets there.
Okay. Hi, Derek. Now? No, is Mike on right now? Okay. Finally. No, I know you guys meet for a while. All right, go right here. Derek, are we good? Derek, are we good? Can you hear me? Level's good? Test. All right, so we're here joined postgame with Eric Gutowski. Eric, you had the final 2 innings of work for your team. Only 1 hit allowed, 1 strikeout. What was going well for you today?
So that was helping.
You haven't pitched too much this year. You've come in a lot of bullpen situations where you guys have multiple run leads, those high-pressure situations. Now you're coming to kind of a high-pressure situation being in the CACC tournament.
Yeah, I came in a lot last year in the high-pressure situations, so I kind of felt comfortable out there, but I feel real good.
This is your guys, I don't know if you know this, we were looking at it during the first game. With the win today, this is your first time in program history being in the winner's bracket. The previous 3 times that this team has made it to the championship, you guys were not in the driver's seat. Each time this team has won, the last 2 years and then 2010, but this is the first time you guys are in the driver's seat, needing to win just 1. What do you have to do to get the job done now in 1 game, not even get that to a second game tomorrow?
I mean, I got all faith in my guys and my pitching staff. I feel like we put all the work in. Like, it's finally we're in the driver's seat, like, sent 2 seasons in the loser's bracket over there, so it's like, I think we'll be fine. I mean, trust the staff. We're all prepared. Everyone's ready, so we're all just going to go at it.
Do you think that you'll end up pitching tomorrow at all in the championship game if it goes to a second game or even in game number 1?
If they need me, yes. I'm going to be 100% ready to go.
Talk about what this team has been able to do just this year in general, and especially these past few games. You guys put together a great comeback in yesterday's game to get that win to stay alive in the winner's bracket. And now here today, you put together a fantastic effort, came from behind down 2-0 yet again. So they're 8-12 this year when trailing first after giving up the first run. You have a winning record, obviously, overwhelmingly when you score first. What's been the key in this tournament since you've fallen behind early?
I think we all just sort of like, it's the beginning of the game, like, trying to scratch runs back, and then the offense just clicks in 1 or 2, and we have the lead, and we just keep going.
What's on deck for you guys for the rest of the day? You guys getting Chick-fil-A, Jersey Mike's, and then chilling? What's up?
I'm graduating tonight, actually, because I'm missing graduation tomorrow, so at 6 I'll be walking across the fake stage, but I'm excited for it.
Well, then good thing you guys games, because there's a chance that you probably wouldn't have, since we're going to kick off game 3 in a little while, game 2 at 3:30, I should say. Yeah. So go enjoy joining us. A great effort for Eric Gutowski as Post wins this one 10-5. They go to the winner's bracket for the championship game tomorrow. In a minute, we'll have Hunter Keller come over here, I believe, to talk about his performance. Grab him for us. So momentarily, we're going to have Hunter Keller come over here. He was 3 for 4 today. Oh, there's Hunter. Eric was going over there. Yeah. Hunter, how you doing?
Doing great.
What was the post-game press conference like with you guys over there? I know you guys are over there for quite some time. What's the message Coach tells you guys going into tomorrow?
It's just pretty much just stay on top of things, just clean it up a little bit. You know, we got to lose 2 tomorrow, so if we just come out and win the first one, then we're done. So.
And that's what I talked with Eric about. What's the key to getting that 1 win? You guys are, like I told him, I don't know if you could hear me from over there. You guys are in the drive for the first time in program history. The last 2 years that you guys were in the champ, you were in the losers bracket. You need 2 to get in. 2010, the first time you guys ever made the CACC championship, losers bracket again. Yeah. This is the first time you guys are going into championship Saturday, needing just 1 win. Yeah. What's the key to just get that 1 win, get it done with nice and early?
Just play our game. You know, if we do that, we find thankfully the bats are alive enough, and if we just play good defense, we got a shot.
And speaking of the bats, I mentioned this to Eric as well. You guys have fallen behind in both games of this tournament. In the end this year, you guys are 8-12 now. Coming to tournament 6-12 when you score first. Come back from that big 4-run deficit yesterday today. What's been the key to get those bats when you get back into these games?
It's just the team, man. The team ever stays up regardless of the score. And that's one that sets us apart, I think, is we never stay down. It doesn't matter if we're down 15 or down 3. Like, we're in the fight.
3 for 4 today. What was working with you specifically with the bat?
Just trying to keep it simple, All good things happen. Just kind of,
Pretty big leader at the second base position. How have you been able to do that?
been working our butts off all year, and we just prepare a lot.
And speaking of jumping, this is more of just like a fun question to ask you. You're always hopping over that third base line. I'm always worried you're going to get hurt or something landing. You're jumping pretty high sometimes.
Yeah.
Is that just something you do for fun, juju, mojo sort of thing?
It's just something I started doing a couple years ago, and I just keep doing it. You know, my family comes here. My family loves it. The guys on the bench love it. So it's just something I just kept doing. Just have fun.
Rest of the day, what do you got planned? I know some of you guys usually get Jersey Mike's afterwards, Chick-fil-A. What's going on? We've had Jersey Mike and Chick-fil-A upstairs.
Yesterday was Chick-fil-A. Today, I don't know. I just go home, shower, rest a little bit. Big thing is the Cars franchise. I watched Cars last night, Cars 3 the night before, so I got to go to Cars 2 again. So we're just going to keep watching Cars.
See, as an avid Cars fan myself, what is your favorite Cars movie? Because personally, I don't think Cars 2 counts in the franchise. I'm more of a 1 or 3 guy. I'm the OG kind.
Yeah.
What about you? What are your takes on that?
I'm not going to lie, Cars 2 is kind of weird. Spy movie, but I love that they made Mater, like, you know, the main character in that movie. I love Mater. He's great. But after watching Cars 3, I'm not going to lie, I think the last 15 minutes of that movie is really what got us through today. It's really inspirational.
What's your most inspirational quote from the movie?
One of the most famous quotes of all time, I am speed, you know.
Well, you've been speed on the base pass. Your team's been speed through this tournament. Mr. Keller, thanks for joining us. Go rest up, enjoy the rest of the evening. Post wins 10-5. We'll be back with Game 2. Jefferson, Felician, winner, goes on to championship Saturday needing to win 2. Loser gets sent packing. We'll see you in a little bit.